this is going to be the last podcast of the year. We're going on a 1 week hiatus, and then we're hitting 2024 even strong. So we got plenty of stuff in the lab, guys. So you can miss us for a week, but you can only miss us for only a week because we will be back.
And hold on, first of all, we ain't like the first time we've been out a week. We've been out a week before we came back. Hush, y'all be all right. Y'all don't miss us that much. We got other podcasts. Y'all know y'all
gotta celebrate holidays too, guys.
Like we know how y'all is. Y'all got other podcasts y'all like to see sometimes. So we know what it is. We know the vibes. But at the same time, we are very appreciative for everybody that has been tagging along in this journey since the beginning. Because absolutely, it hadn't even been a year yet. Technically,
no,
has not been a year for this podcast.
Y'all need to keep y'all ears peeled because it will be a year in a few weeks.
Absolutely. That's why I'm like, it's not
celebrating a 1 year anniversary edition of the podcast is real.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to do it really special for you guys then. But that's then. We're about tonight.
Oh, yeah. We got a lot of topics to discuss today. We got a lot of things to talk about. As you can see, our outfits.
That's the main event.
As you can see, our outfits for tonight, you know what I'm saying? Cinnamon, thank you for liking the introduction. Thank you. Whoa. Thank you.
So, we're gonna start it off, sir. So how has your day been today? I know you were off today.
My day has been alright. I ain't gonna hold you. It's a big bro. It was one of the big broad days, you know.
Bruh.
It was really great. So it was like one of those nice, relaxing, chilling, you know what I'm saying? I woke up, got my stretch on. I feel super great today because I was like, today's payday.
Oh, that's right.
So I was like, oh, yeah, some things. Let me go ahead and get some things in order, get my line in shape. You know what I'm saying? And look at left or right. And I was like, do I want to buy some anime products? I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm good right now. I got other things to worry about, but I've been good, man. You know, how about yourself?
Like I said, I took off today as well. I told you I probably was going to do that. But a couple of things. I found myself last night trying to get a little under the weather, so I'm going to keep that in check. We'll see what happens tonight when I go to bed because it's one of those things where I feel worse when I'm laying down than it is when I'm up, which is why I'm fine right now. But we will find out about later. But so, we always talk about the week that was. Now, the biggest thing that was the week that was, we're going to talk about a little bit later. But you guys know what it is because we're dressed up for the occasion. But there's been some other things in the past week that have been announced. Like, did you see that they're going to be reanimating One Piece?
Of course. Honestly, that's just one of those things. I'm just like, you know, it's kind of been like a thing that people have been doing for a long time because Naruto had a remake that's going on.
Supposedly, it still hasn't come out and it's past its release date.
I know, and they were supposed to be how a remake, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, One Piece announced it, even though they got other things that's going on with their plate as in currently. But it seemed like they got a lot of things under control right now to handle the remake. So if they got the remakes, they got that under control, you know, I'm not too upset about it. I mean, the OG animation still gonna hold a place in my heart. It's just reanimated, but there will be some things I know there's gonna be definitely gonna be taken out of some scenes, or some scenes that's probably gonna be added. So it's like I'm happy, but at the same time, it's just like. But
it really depends on what they mean by reanimating it. Like, are they, because obviously this anime came out back in like 1999. So, you know, the early years animation is not on par with the later years animation. So I don't know if they're just talking about reanimating as in they're just going to reanimate everything that's there, but keep the same dialogue and keep everything the same, but just modernize the old ones. Or if they're going to go to full, you know, Hunter x Hunter, Full Metal route and just say, yeah, we're just going to do it over again.
And look here, if they pull the do-over again, I don't think they'll pull that plug. I don't think they pull it. I would highly doubt if they pull the plug, real remake every single thing, and we're on 1,000 or something. Now we're just talking about remaking, and there's a collection. That's what I'm saying.
I'm thinking they're probably just reanimating to just kind of update the older animation to kind of keep.
Because I'm like, we're on 1,000s. There's no way to just do the whole. I ain't gonna say no way, but I know it's just like if we do the entire thing over, just to reanimate the entire beginning of the thing. I feel like it's like cool, but you already released a story that you already had before. So the only thing you're really doing is reanimating to make the action looks beautiful even more. That's really about it.
Or they might try to reanimate it to speed up the pace of the story a little bit, for the people that feel like it's too long, so, they could be trying to do that as well. So I don't know. We don't know. The details aren't really out just yet. But you know what? I'm interested to see. It might just be one of those things where, look, One Piece is making too much money right now. And any way for them to continue to make any more money on it, it's all about this at the end of the day.
I mean, they are. One Piece had a great year this year. Absolutely had a wonderful year. Allegra, thank you for the roses.
Already with the weekly.
Thank you for the roses, because it ain't for me. Because I ain't the one who carry roses. I despise them.
I know. I keep roses. You might not want to go anywhere near my roses, because if I pull those things out, it might be over.
I'm just gonna spare a gun and then just get it out of the way.
You really need to watch out for the thorns.
Nah, you really need to watch out for yokai chroma.
Oh, well, I mean, obviously.
No. Yokai chroma, that's the one you need to watch out for. That's the different breed right there. Hold on. That's one of them that's like, remind me not to get on his bad side.
Let's see. They are having a recap episode on the 24th, I believe. Who is? What'd I miss?
Are you talking about One Piece?
Yeah, because I know right now One Piece is kind of in their down period. Like, like they do sometimes in that anime.
They got to. Oh, another if anything else on the new to acquire week, I have
Oh, okay, about Momonosuke. Okay, a little.
I have recently watched. Sorry about that. I got dominoes on the way. I have recently watched the new episode of Tokyo Revengers, and ladies and gentlemen, boy, oh boy, it got so real. It got so real this episode. I'm just like, And then I finally seen the scene where Takemichi actually throw hands, and it felt so good. It's been a long time making it. It took us 3 seasons to get here, but we got there. I don't count the past seasons of Takemichi running up and get one tap. I don't talk about, oh my God, the jellyfish.
Oh my, ooh.
You said a glowing
jellyfish. We're going jellyfishing.
Jellyfishing.
That's all I can say right now.
Jellyfishing is a SpongeBob technique.
It is.
City was
Hey, you go.
No, we definitely appreciate it. Just like we appreciate you always being here every week, always supporting you. One of our biggest supporters.
All right, shout out to her. Shout out to her. Shout out to her. Shout out to the beautiful Allegra. Shout out.
Always. Okay. Yeah. Always. It's always about branding. So let me get this up here real quick. But yes, Tokyo Revengers. Like I said, some people kind of got a little side-eyed when I put it in my top 5 animes, and I'm like, look, y'all don't know the manga. Let this story play out, and y'all will understand. I literally catch y'all in the middle of my work shift. Oh, so we're convenient.
Oh, so you're gonna get in trouble. Gotcha. So I'm gonna need you to be aware of your surroundings at all costs. Okay.
By the way, guys, that is up here. It will periodically go up. That is the Podcast Is Real page. You can find it. It will be that exact same on all of our platforms except for Twitter, because Twitter doesn't allow that many characters. But everywhere else, it is at the Podcast Is Real. Make sure you're following us on all your favorite platforms, because we want to get all pages to 1,000 followers so that we can start going live outright to go along with all the extra plans that we have going on next year. LOLs. No, I'm always working.
You always work. Don't bother me. I'm working. Don't bother me. I'm working. But no, and then we got And ladies and gentlemen, I have read a lot of the Jujutsu Kaisen, but I have watched the newest episode they have released today, and boy, oh boy, y'all are talking. Y'all are talking. Y'all are mad that he couldn't get the. I mean, I knew, but now
I'm
we
a few
got that out of the
behind,
way.
but yeah.
I'm happy to look at the world still be pissed more that he didn't get what he deserved. All right, so y'all enjoy that, okay? And I'm still gonna be on the sideline stepping because, like Attack on Titan, I've been saying this since the beginning. Actually, since Demon Slayer, do not get attached of any of your characters that is in the new generation. So I have been doing very well so far, super well. So
Super well.
like every character I just looked at, I'm just like, you're so next. Like it's just happening.
Oh my goodness.
You're so next. Like,
not you're so next.
You're so next. Like there's some characters in the manga I read, I'm just like, it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. Especially the what's his name, the one with the freaking curse with the tear marks and stuff. Oh, I knew his downfall was coming. I was just like, just wait. It's gotta be petty. Like petty people get the worst deaths in the show. Excuse my language. But like, I don't know, that's anime 101 of all animes, but the most pettiest ones in animes get the worst execution in the entire anime franchise. I don't know what that is. Like Shao Tucker, he got one of the worst ones ever in Full Metal Alchemist. My man walked up, did Judgment with electrical bolt shots in his head. He pulled an old school prison, but it was just with his hands, with the grip on his forehead. I said, oh my gosh, but it happened.
You say that.
Then you got oh my god, Attack on Titan. We got the inside. What's not Berto? What's the one who was a Colossal Titan first, and then he got replaced by Armin.
Oh, Berto?
Yes. Oh yes. You know his execution was petty. Like, friend, please help me. And they just looking at him like, we're not helping you, bro. And then it's just immediate, like, bro, like all of every single pettiest anime in the freaking generation of mankind, I have learned get the pettiest deaths ever.
Are you talking about the new remake of One Piece, or are you talking about something else that's being remade? Oh my goodness, the ghosts.
Oh, she calling me because I handle ghosts over here because I am a spirit.
No,
detective.
you are a spirit detective.
I am a spirit detective. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you. I pre.
Sin City was a savior.
Yeah, we were talking about that at the beginning about the remake of One Piece.
But like it wasn't here. Like we said, we need more information about it because I want to know if it's just going to be reanimating the earlier episodes or if they're doing something completely new. I want more information.
We'll definitely see about that.
But in the meantime, anytime there's more One Piece content out there. But you know what else has had a lot of content? This podcast. Over the past almost year.
Of course.
So I just kind of want to talk about that a little bit because, like I said, this is our final one of the year. So I just kind of want to go through a quick recap and get your thoughts on year one of the podcast real quick.
My thoughts of year one? What you mean by like the collaborations, the views?
Like anything, like overall, like anything in particular that maybe stands out to you, maybe a certain guest, certain moments. Like, obviously, we still got a lot that we're improving on, but just over the past year, like, anything that sticks out to you about this year that we've been able to do so far?
Really good one. We have a lot. I would definitely say what really stuck out for this podcast is the amount of guests that we have this year. I would definitely say the amount of guests that actually took the time to come by this year. Every single guest, small, big, medium, large, no matter how you put it, the amount of guests that we had this year were insane. And these are people that it is hard to get on. And I don't think people understand that. Like, that's why I really, for y'all, I know if y'all saw my story on TikTok or Instagram, because I have to, because I look back over our videos like last week, And I posted this on the page because I was just looking at the views rates, just be like, Joe, it's not even a year, and then we got this big amount of views that we have for this page, and not even just that, the amount of success and the guests that we have, and people are talking like we been on the sideline, but then we've been having people rocking up on us that's big as hell, walking us and be like, oh yeah, I heard about your podcast. I've been watching on the sideline. It's been a couple of people. I'm not just going to point out their names because
not their names, because people that we didn't know were necessarily watching. That just was like, yeah, we've seen that.
That we see some of your clips of some of these people, and then we had a lot of pop-up guests that kind of shocked me this year. I said one of the ones to stick up this year was Mr. King and Queen Lion, who popped up this year. That was really shocking. You know,
a couple of weeks ago.
That was shocking. I was like, shout out to him. You know, because that was one of the most unexpected guests that's ever came by in all of the podcasts of me being podcasted this year. I will absolutely say he is one of the fewer people that was just very unexpected, and it was really great. It was super nice and humble and great energy. When I met him at DreamCon, he was an amazing guy. Great to sit down and talk to, especially the amount of beef that he has with the anime community. I'm just saying, probably not even anime community, just DC. I just feel like he just goes to war with the war, just because. And that's just him. And I'm accepting him because that's a brother, and I accepted what it was. And I think one of the main ones, one of the main ones is like, I know the view counts will come because look at us, like each and every last one of us, even separated, get views on our own. So views on together on a podcast is just one of the things I'm kind of like not even care about it that great about. But it was just, like I said, just the guests, the amount of energy, and like I said, spry guests. But one of the main events that stuck out this year, I will probably say it's kind of hard because you got I have two particular top 10s that was weird. Because Evie was one. That was a great in contact of you and Disney. Because I'm like, I'm not even talking Disney. I got
that was an interesting one.
Like, I don't even have to say anything about Disney. I'm just in the background just watching you two talking. I'm just like, I've been sitting here for an hour.
And reacting.
I have been sitting here for an hour. They have not stopped talking now once of going back and forth with each other, even though I'm the one that started it. But it was great because I'm Loki. It's what I do. But it was a great mixture of going back and forth between you and Evie. It was super great encounter. Then I'll say the other one, it will be Chaos. Because the Pokemon one got, oh my gosh.
She was amazing.
Oh God. Chaos with the Pokemon, bro. That was just, those were fighting swinging words, boy. I ain't never look at the comments of people with just feeling some type of way about that answer. Like, boy, there's like, oh, I thought she was just a typical girl who doesn't know Pokemon, but apparently she does. I'm like, God.
Don't do that to her.
Like, wow. I'm like, y'all really butt hurt just because she said no Charmander. I was one of the few people. I was just shocked. You know, just like anybody else would be shocked that you would say Charmander, but when she said her piece of word, I was just like,
finger hearts. Arigato.
Yo, Ro, thank you for the heart, sweetheart. You're the best. You're the best. Oh man. But I would say, but those top two was just one of the biggest things. I mean, of course I could say classic, but classic was just, it was just normal. It was just a normal vibe energy of us just talking like we always do. And I think that's probably what's very genuine of those entire year.
His content is basically topic of discussion stuff, so he fat in nicely with us because
so well.
He just got to come in and do 4 hours of what he does on his own channel anyway.
And he went over his time limit, by the way. If y'all don't know, that's something I can honestly say. He went over his time limit. He was supposed to be with us for like 2 hours, and that man still like fucking 11 or 4
almost
hours.
5.
Like that man was like, man, I was supposed to leave, but it just got so good. I just like, screw it. We're going to keep going. So it was like, I was just like, bro, that felt so warm in my heart so bad because it was like this man was supposed to leave, but he literally stayed longer than his hour. Like, yo, shout out to him. Shout out to my man Classic, bro. That man was that man. Every topic, every conversation, he was ready for it. We had a discussion. He was there. He was on it. I appreciate Classic, man.
there's a couple of things for me. Obviously, the first person and I don't want guys to feel like that just because we mentioned some people that were alienating any of the other people that came on, because we had a lot of amazing people. But of course, there are some special ones that I want to shout out. Number one, shout out Baker J for being our very first guest.
Yes, absolutely.
The podcast is real.
Yes, absolutely. He was there when I was locked up. No, like seriously, he was there when TikTok kicked me off.
While that wasn't our first episode, it was our second episode, but he was our first guest.
I'm locked up, they won't let me out.
Which I hate that happened, because then that actually rendered them not allowing me to archive the podcast.
Oh my gosh, it was so disrespectful, man. We had to get lawyers for our things, but we had to go inside and make sure that.
But that's why I said special shout out to Baker J. If you'll probably see this at some point when we put it up, Baker. But thank you so much for jumping off being guests for our show, because you're somebody of a caliber too. And for somebody like you to come through here, show that it's okay for other people to come slide through as well. So we're gonna always remember that. And we definitely talked about a couple of big things. We talked about some of these people that just get that bad rap in anime around here, some of these characters. But but we the only leftover archive that we have from that is us doing JoJo poses, which is ironic considering who our guest was last week.
I know. Look at God. That's all I can say. Look at God. Shout out to Apollo. Shout out to Apollo Fresh.
Shout out to Apollo.
My amazing anime nerd brother. Shout out to Apollo. You heard?
But and then there's some other people that have to do some special shout outs for me for special reasons.
Oh, talk to us. I know who you know.
And I gotta list them out.
Call them out.
Shout out Sailor Ignite.
Yeah.
I gotta say.
Oh, my pizza here. Let me go grab it.
Oh, look at this man right here. This man orders food in the middle of a podcast, everybody.
Oh, shit. Mine's got it. All right, keep going.
You got it good. Like I said, shout out to Sailor Ignite. That's number one. Shout out to Megan. Shout out to Moon Killer. And I'm trying to make sure that I don't leave nobody out here, because the reason that I say special shout outs to them is because they were all guests. Oh, and shout out to K-Shay Cause. Shout out to all of them in particular, because they were all people that slid through when he was not able to make the podcast. That way we were able to still keep a podcast going because they slid in as temporary co-hosts. So again, shout out to all of those people, because they came in. We had a good time, good vibe. And Moon especially, because she already knows how I feel about her. I'm going to try not to gush about her this time like I always end up doing when I bring her up. There was one more person that did a fill-in, but there's a reason that I didn't include him with everybody else, because he needs his own special shout-out. And that's my man, Jasiri.
I was waiting on it.
Because Jasiri didn't only just slide through for the podcast. He was actually our second guest and third with Pika. Not only did he also hold it down, not only did he also hold it down when he was away, but Jasiri is the one person that, like we talk about with LeBron James, he's come on this podcast not 2, not 3, not 4. Like, this man's been on our podcast more than anybody. I definitely got to do the special shout out. No, special shout out to all of them, Megan, all of them. They all know that they're welcome, always back.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Panda. Shout out to Kiko. Shout out to Gim. Shout out to Lit. Shout out to Mamai.
Not only did Mama sit with us for anime tournament, she also did a run-in on us.
I forgot about that, Queen. Mama was one of the first big guests that came by. I was like, yeah, I'll come by like on her whole time. Like, yo, shout out to her.
But before she came on, she did a whole run-in.
Shout out to Lil Son.
All because she didn't like what we were saying about Nickelodeon. She was like, nah, put me in.
Oh,
now.
Yeah. Her with Baylit back to back with her no camera face is still lost.
I know, right? But I bet, King Lion did the same thing. But no, she just jumped in like, I'm not going to let y'all go with the Nick slander, bro.
Oh, man, we can talk about it. And we talked about it. And like, here's the thing. that's one thing I would absolutely love about our community, because it was like when we first started this off and we built, like, we've been talking about doing this podcast for a long time,
A
but we
long time,
took our
guys.
precious time of making it happen instead of just rushing for it, because I think people fail to realize about like how much work and time we put in behind the scene before we even started the podcast. Like, before we even thought of podcast, we were just doing our own videos and just going out and just talking. And then after that, we just regularly have fun and network with a lot of great, amazing people. And for us to network with a lot of these amazing people, and for them to come by and just be like, hey, I would love to come by and stop by for the show. Like, I'm employed, I'm implied. Like, thank you. And some of them ran up on us, was like, so you ain't gonna put us on the show? I'm like, my fault. I didn't know. Like, we sorry, bro. Like, we sorry. We didn't know. We didn't know. But that's the point. It's a great feeling of like just doing this, talking about it with the people that you love in the community, and then definitely doing it with people that you are least expected to see on coming by on the show. Very least. Like, it's a beautiful moment. Like, the podcast is so real. And shout out, I mean, I think we are nominated this year. Oh, that's another thing. I forgot. Shortcoming. We were nominated this year. I forgot. That's another one. That's another thing.
Only a couple of days, only like a day or so left on the voting.
Like, we gotta keep that in mind. That's a great moment. It's not like a big page, but it's still wholesome to know that
It's
there's
fine. Notoriety.
like, it's still people out there that's literally walking around seeing us and comparing us with the other big dogs in the game. We're just like, wait, hold on. We just started. You putting us with the big dogs in the anime podcast game? Hold on. Like, wait a minute. We just started.
Like, we went from me not wondering if anybody would even want to come sit with us to me asking some people and their response going, oh, now you want to finally ask me to come on.
Oh,
like, feeling some type of way that we didn't do it earlier. And I'm sorry.
Y'all gotta understand, like I said, y'all gotta understand, y'all not the only ones. We got so many people who just want to run up. First come, first serve. That's how it works over here. First come, first serve.
Yeah, like January's already full. Like
bro, y'all gotta understand. Like, and that's what I mean, how important we are. Like, we're like this. Here's the definition. We're like a Dalmatian, right? Y'all know, remember the 102 Dalmatian that Spot never had her spot yet? That's us. We're that one spot. That one spot that came in, but then we're gonna increase more and more all over with our polka dots. And that's where we're coming. That's where the podcast reel's coming. We just that spot that literally just popped up out of nowhere. And everybody's just like, hey, I noticed you got a little spot right there. And it's like, yep, it's the podcast is real. What's up? What's up? What's up? You wanna touch in too? Man, y'all look interested. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. So, you know, that's the powerful podcast. Anime, having everybody come in, debate with the family, and arguing with y'all to the point that we ain't got that's another thing too about this podcast. No filters. We are holding nothing, even though we do hold filters because it's TikTok community guidelines. We are following
some things you can't say, but that's not because of holding back in the arguments themselves.
Right. I mean, there's still other words we can still use.
Just trigger words.
Like,
and that's okay.
Like that's why I was like, still go in, and if you want to cuss, by all means, you just don't go too much with it, or just, you know, sometimes one can slip up, whatever, it happens.
Whatever.
It happens. You know what I'm saying? Just don't do it too much in a line.
Evie was letting them fly.
But that's one thing about this podcast. This podcast being here less than a year, and everybody's starting to know us. They're screaming. I feel like I'm just waiting on 2024. Because I just can't wait to announce the things that we got and things that we're planning to do, and then getting everything set up. Like, I just think y'all just not ready. I just think y'all not ready, but y'all gonna be ready when you hear about it. So it's gonna be very interesting.
Absolutely. As I get everything set. But again, it is the holidays. So, you know, I hope everybody out there got everything ready for Christmas. I ain't gonna lie, I don't yet. But just about there. You know, a lot of people out there celebrating with their families and everything like that. So, you done with all your Christmas shopping, sir?
Nah, some Christmas gifts ain't gonna probably be to New Year. I ain't gonna hold you, some of y'all. Because some of y'all want too much from me.
He's like, and if you order from Amazon, he might have to deliver it.
I don't even want to talk about it. I'll be Santa Claus all month. I'm good.
He's like, I'm Santa Claus. Like, screw what everybody else says.
Nah.
Any Christmas movies you've been looking at?
Hell no, not one. Because I am the movie. I am the movie. What we talking about? I'm going outside looking at Christmas lights and stuff. Jingle bell, jingle bell. I see Santa Claus stuck in the chimney, all flayed and stuff. I see a snowman with a Grinch outside of the window. See a dog with antlers and reindeers running at me. But loving me because I'm not afraid of dogs. But I'm just like, shit, man, this is a movie. What we talking about?
Well, I mean, you know, the only
Life's the
Christmas
movie.
movie, the only Christmas movie that I ever watch every year is The Grinch, which because I know it's a polarizing Christmas movie because there's people that really like that Jim Carrey version, there's people that don't like that Jim Carrey version, but it plays in my house every year,
Oh yeah.
like every year.
Oh yeah.
And most black people I know actually like that movie though, so I don't know where a lot of that hate comes from. It's just people that are so clinging on to that original cartoon short, which I also like. But Jim Carrey's freaking hilarious, guys.
Mm-hmm. I like I said, no Christmas movie for me. But if I do have a favorite. It is the Christmas Carol though. I rock with the Christmas Carol tough.
Did any version of the Christmas Carol? Or do you have a certain?
Not really. I mean, of course you can say the Muppets, but the Muppets was really the thing. They had
Good.
the Muppets was really good. Barbara's in Myers. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. That
I
was
grew up on the Disney one.
yeah.
So that
I
was
would say they had the Jim Carrey. I think they had the Jim Carrey one too. That
I
was
wasn't a big fan of that one, but I mean it was alright.
it was cool. I wasn't mad at it. It was
Yeah.
really interesting.
But yeah, I grew because we had the VHS of the Disney Christmas Carol, so it used to just play all the time. It also had a lot of other little Disney shorts on there, like freaking Chip and Dale messing around in the Christmas tree and Pluto trying to get it. Like, how do I still remember this tape? I haven't seen this tape in like over 20 years.
Hey, just one of those iconic moments they will never erase from our heads, bro.
Yeah,
I see the Goofy
I don't
movie
even know
all
if
the
they have
time.
that short on Disney Plus. I think they got the Mickey's Christmas Carol, but I don't think they have the Chip and Dale short on there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I haven't been on Disney Plus side in a hot minute.
But I will say this, because I wouldn't be me if I didn't bring up mini rants. Whatever your favorite Christmas movie is, there's one that you guys better not ever say, at least around in my presence.
He's going to talk about Home Alone.
Of course, I'm going to talk about Home Alone because it's not a freaking Christmas movie.
Mm, mm,
Like, hold on a second. Hold on. Because
he's going to this route. I'm gonna let y'all know I have nothing to say about this topic.
he says I got nothing to say about this
I'm
topic.
gonna let y'all know this right now. I have nothing to say about this topic at all. Loud and clear, my mouth right now. Vocals does not have anything to say about this topic right here. Okay, this is gonna hurt y'all.
That is
emotional damage. If you, by all means, go for it because you got attack on Facebook about this as well. By all means,
I know I did, and I'm going to rehash it by the way because they need to know, guys. There's a difference between a Christmas movie and a movie that just happens to take place at Christmas. A Christmas movie is about the actual Christmas event itself. Stuff about Santa, stuff about saving Christmas. Something that maybe like if we don't do this, Christmas is ruined, or Frosty the Snowman, because all of that's about how he's bringing everybody Christmas cheer, or just anything where it's like, all right, we're doing this to help save Christmas. So many movies where people have to help Santa Claus deliver presents. Those are Christmas movies. A movie about a family that goes away on vacation and accidentally leaves their kid at home, that plot can take place at absolutely any time of the year. You can remove the Christmas elements from Home Alone and nothing changes about that movie. So how is it a Christmas movie? That's all I usually have to say about that. And yes, there are those people that will love to just say, well, it's a Christmas movie because it takes place at Christmas time. That's why I said at the beginning there's a difference. That's why it comes to the whole thing about Die Hard. The people say Die Hard, is it a Christmas or is it not a Christmas movie? Because Die Hard takes place at Christmas time. There was a movie
oh my God.
That would be like, just take, I don't know, any movie that you want. Any movie. And then just throw in a couple of references to, hey, it's Christmas Eve. And then someone can say, oh, that's a Christmas movie now. Home Alone 2 is a Christmas movie because they Christmas the hell out of that movie. They actually made it about Christmas because they actually made it about the bandits trying to rob the toy stores. And if you rob the toy stores, is going to rob these kids of opportunities of having good Christmas. And they made it all about Kevin and the Christmas tree and how he was so obsessed with Christmas trees. I will give you Home Alone 2 as being a Christmas movie. But Home Alone 1? No. Bart, what's up, Kitty? Kitty, Home Alone, Christmas movie or not?
That's all I got to tell you. That's all I got to say to you. Just run.
No, do not tell us.
That's all I got to say to you.
Is Home Alone a Christmas movie, yes or no? That's what I asked, Kitty, because I want to know. I value your opinion because you come through every week. I saw you live earlier today, and you took the time to get off that live and come join us. So you know what? As always, you're here. As always, but answer the question. You don't have to. You don't have. Oh, you were waiting on me. Like what? You were staying on live till we went online? Because that's super sweet. Look at her. She's trying to play confused.
I'm like, hey, I say, just tell me to say the word. Just tell me to say the word. I'll push the button.
We know you did. We thank you for your loyalty, but now we asked you.
Oh, no, wait, no, not we. Hold on. No, let me clarify this. No. Not we.
Okay, I am asking you, is Home Alone a Christmas movie, yes or no?
Because this man is jumping in deep water, and I'm here, okay? I'm over here. I have nothing to say about this. Look here, I usually always have something to say. This topic, I'm not doing it.
Right. In a way? No, I need a definitive yes or a definitive no.
I'm telling you, bro. This is just no. This is just a no. Like you know what you're doing.
Oh no! Look at that right there. I mean, because also full disclosure, did anybody realize that the movie Edward Scissorhands technically takes place at Christmas time? So people could try to call that a Christmas movie if they wanted to. It ain't no freaking Christmas movie. That has been my whole thing, Kitty. I said it earlier, but I will say it again. I said you could take out all the Christmas elements from the Home Alone movie and nothing about the plot changes. The movie is not surrounded around Christmas. It just happens to take place at Christmas time. But if you took the entire movie of Home Alone and had it set place in the summer and said the family was going on a summer vacation, nothing about the movie changes. The movie is exactly the same. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. See, we were here. We were here.
You triggered my trap card.
We were here. But I can't ride with you on the Die Hard one.
Here we go.
There's nothing Christmassy about Die Hard.
Here we go.
They say the word Merry Christmas a few times. Lethal Weapon is a Christmas. Okay.
Here we go. Yeah.
You're sipping on the eggnog a little too early, Kitty.
The Dub, I'm just letting you know that's how he's looking at you. This is exactly how he's looking at you. So please, look here. Look, anything about Christmas movies, I have nothing to say. I dispute no lack of conduct of any disrespectful.
He's trying not to get cold for Christmas.
But this year, look here. Nope, that's not even what I'm saying. Look here. I've been attacked too many times this year.
I'm getting attacked right now on Insta.
And I think it's time for you to take the bullet. Because it ain't gonna be me this time. It ain't gonna be me.
Not me.
I learned my lesson. I got out. Look here. We got out 4 months ago. I'm never going back.
Look, sir, I don't think that you're gonna go to jail, TikTok jail, for saying that Home Alone is or isn't a Christmas movie. But I get it.
No, I'm just saying I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying the Jaegers took me to jail. I don't got time for that. The Jaegers took me to jail. So that made me learn that I have to watch what I have to say for the rest of the year. And I did. I did a great job. I did a fantastic. Unless you're talking about Fairy Tale, I can shit on Fairy Tale any day. But this is Home Alone, and this is a Christmas movie, one of America's favorite movie, and you have a sniper rifle at his head, while actually this is what I picture right now. Everybody, look at my. I just want everybody to picture my brain cells right now. You see me in this chair? This is me in the chair. He's interrogating me. Meanwhile, if I move, there's a sniper outside of this window. If I walk outside of this, he leaves to walk outside of this door. There's a mine trap inside. There's a camera looking at me at this corner if I try to move in every direction. Then he's going to keep asking the question until I admit it in my mind, and then he's going to control me. That's my. You matter of fact, y'all seen Tokyo?
Me?
Y'all seen Tokyo Ghoul when Ken Kanye had to talk to 7,000 backwards by 7? That's how I feel a little bit, but in American Home Alone way. So that's why I'm like, I have nothing to say.
I mean, so you're not inclined to agree. You're not inclined to agree with me. We do have our own opinions.
No, I mean, hey, I just look here. I'm just saying, it is not my time. It is your time to shine. Go for it. It is all you. I'm not.
You know what?
I am not finna get a shotgun this time. I don't have a bulletproof for this.
Well, you know what? You might have to pull your bulletproof vest out for a second, because there's been some talk about some very popular animes that have coming on lately, and I've seen some pretty interesting opinions out there online. So I want you to give your opinion to everybody, completely break it down on which team would win this fight.
Oh, we talked about this.
I know that.
Wow, we're bringing this up?
Yes.
I feel like I won't get shot by this. I'll survive this. I don't need a bulletproof vest for this. I will say this 100%. Now,
He's like, I'm getting ready here.
So, look here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's look here. Hold on. Before we even go further, I gotta push the button.
One Piece is real!
When I push this button, that means it's showtime. All right. So look, this is where things is about to get real, because I know how the anime community is, and when it comes to battles, I am one of the greatest battle tactics when it comes to in our generation of time to know who is stronger than who. Let's get to it. Oh my God. Okay, so first of all, we're not going to talk about Naomi. Okay, Sakura can even dominate her. We can talk about that. Let's talk about it. Okay. We're not even going to do that. Let's get that one way out of the way, because I know how everybody else is going to be. Sakura can take out Naomi. Okay, so what she's going to do is stuff curse energy, a hammer versus a girl who literally breaks metal. Let's talk about it. Don't worry, I'll wait. I'll wait. No, I'll wait for anybody got something to say smart about that, because I'm telling you, we're finna get into this.
You talking about so Nobara, you said her straw doll is not going to do anything?
Let me tell y'all something. Do y'all not know? I think y'all kind of forgot this one thing that Sakura can literally do that will dominate her 100%, and that is called 1,000 healing, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about a girl who, goddamn it, can heal the entire fucking village is even more, and has a freaking one of that in herself. We're not gonna do that. With the acid power of that versus her, that's done. Finito, you're gone. There's none of that, okay? We're not even gonna do that. We're not even gonna do that. Now, we could go to the next stage of that. That means Sakura's still around. That means 1 is gone, okay? So Team 7 is still up, all right? Let's go down another word. We're gonna leave Ichidori last. We're gonna go Megami and Sasuke. Oh, God, that's naive. That's so one-sided. My God, that is so one-sided. It is ridiculous. Now, I get it. He can do this and bring Mahigato out. I hear y'all. Because he has a curse energy that's basically one of those things to get rid of himself. How to watch my mouth, TikTok, because it's actually the S word, but we can't use that here. But he used that to eliminate himself, to basically use all of his curse energy to basically take down this one person. And what after he gone, this curse energy basically does what he has to do. Megami is basically going the entire fight. So technically, he slick already lost because he offed himself. That's 1. 2, Sasuke has too many options that this man can't even do. We saw the Sukuna fight, and I'll give you Malevolent Shrine, okay? He is a person that actually adapts to every single move and the moveset that you got to do left and right. No matter what you do, what you throw, when he attack, he will 100% take it. I give you the blast, the damage, and attack that he was taking, but, however, my man Sasuke can literally put meteors and stuff down inside with 1,000 lightning bolt that breaks down into the world. Not even just that, he's really a god with the Rinnegan and the Mangekyou Sharingan. With the do I gotta keep going? Like Megami only can summon dogs and frogs.
True.
Don't do taijutsu over here. Please show me where Megami ever throw hands. The one who throw hands in this bitch is literally Itadori. And I'm glad we're finally on that topic now. Because you don't know why? Do you know who he's facing? Do you not know who he's facing? We're talking about a Joni. We're talking about a man who has a demon who goes over hatred and can counter Sukuna in every single level that you can ever think of. You can hit me with the Malevolent Shrine. What if he pull out his domain expansion with a Malevolent Shrine, shoots the entire town with 200 radius down the blast? I hear you. But first of all, this man is faster than light. Can he touch? I don't think he can test light. I don't think this man is faster than light. I don't think Sukuna is faster than light. That's just one thing. And two, if we're talking about the phase path with the orbs and everything, we talking about Sage Mode path, Naruto, we're not even going to break. That's not even a closer debate of the battle. Because first of all, Sukuna is a great tyrant sprouter, but literally Madara would dog water him. So that even says a lot. Because what they have to deal with in the universe says a lot over there. So we're not even going to do that over there. So we're going to just gladly, let Sukuna take this L gracefully. I love Sukuna, but he's going to gracefully take this L because Naruto literally counters every single thing that he literally does. Speed, taijutsu, fights, and demon mode. It's too much. It's too much between the two. Yes, you can say about one thing about, I think the one thing everybody's going to run up on me and try to say Benevolent Shrine that, but he can counter that with light speed, so literally what the hell he's going to do about that? Yes, Naruto got to get close just like anything else, because he's about these two. Don't get me wrong, but one is a taijutsu master versus anybody who just literally just throw his body just because. But he's a trained ninja versus one who's not a trained, he just has power, instinctive power. That's just insane. So that's where Naruto literally capitalizes every single thing. In Baron mode, yeah, we're just gonna leave that alone there. So we're not gonna do that. Now, the main event, ladies and gentlemen, that is 3-1. So how many students are gone? 1, 2, 3. Oh, Gojo! Oh, the women's favorite Playboy, besides Toji, one of the favorite Blue Eyes, besides Toji, the women's favorite Earth Energy, besides Toji. I'm just saying, there's a lot of things y'all gotta say about these two because y'all still don't know about Toji and Gojo, and Gojo is the one who's Toji slept Gojo by using something invisible, Cursed Energy. Let's calm down. Let's breathe. Because we're going to look at this again. Because first of all, that means that's a 4v1 fight. But in the respect of Naruto and Sasuke, they will respect y'all to handle the ones, unless y'all doing an earth threatening because Naruto and Sasuke won't even care. But in the Jujutsu Kaisen world, they don't care because they're gonna do a 2v1. They're gonna gang you just because. They don't care. So you know what? That is an acceptance of this because y'all don't believe in ones in Jujutsu Kaisen. Y'all believe in jumping. So you know what? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, let's talk about this. Domain Expansion Infinity Void. Oh my God, I know this man is throwing Galaxy straight up in his face, but literally, Gojo is not facing 3 guys, and basically, well, not 3 guys, 2 guys, and 1 expert of a Sharingan, and another girl, basically, who can heal him at the same time. That's just not even going to be enough. I don't think that's going to be enough for Gojo to really handle and stuff like that. But I can understand what y'all going to say. Vocals, he did it 0.5 seconds and destroyed almost 200 or 300 souls in the beginning in 0.5 seconds. I hear you. He has an infinity void that literally nobody else can really touch. I hear you. Oh, wait, I lied. Somebody did. Yeah. So yeah. All right, but wait, Vocals, what are you talking about? He had a cursed energy weapon to be able to break inside of being in this infinity void. Gojo gets tired too, ladies and gentlemen, and literally they don't even have to do that. He has a thing called Kamui. I think people kind of forgets about that. Kamui is a bitch. If he looks at you and literally hits you right where the spot goes in, and he can jump in and out in Infinity Void. Right after he would pull out the domain station, he can teleport in and out of it because people think the Void is something that is once they use this Void, it's finished. No, it's a radius bubble that you can break in or out by having it, by basically having the force of will or whatever strong curse energy that you have. Yes, I do my Jujutsu Kaisen research. People don't play with me. Don't play with me. I've been reading the manga too. I've been reading this crazy. Look, the curse manipulation world over there is too insane. The reverse curse stick, the positive, the negatives. It's too much. I understand because everything over there is about cursed energy and stuff, but we're talking about an even playing field and stuff like that. Gojo is not going to be able to handle a 4v1 of that. But if y'all want to run in the opposite biracial, let's talk about Kakashi and Gojo just for the hell of it. Just for the hell of it.
Let's do it.
Because I know that's how y'all going to look at me as well. Just for the hell of it. Let's talk about it. Kakashi, Gojo. Now, I will say this. Gojo, I will probably say, is probably superior to him in hand taijutsu. I will say that. I can honestly say that. Because there is a difference between a ninja who knows hand-to-hand, but another man that literally sees an infinity void and sees everything around him by just covering his eyes. So it's kind of hard. It's basically like Sanji observation hockey. You're not going to catch him slipping type deal. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like how that is. Oh, hey, go. Hey, how you doing? Hey. You know what I'm saying? You came in with the hey love, so we gotta hit you with the hey love too. Hey, love. We are here talking about anime debates over here. I don't know if you're a nerd like us or not, but welcome to talk about this nerd. But no, back to what I was saying. Hand to hand, I think Gojo would be better than Kakashi and a little superior, but in power and all that aspect, because like I said, you got the eyes that literally breaks it in and out. He has a Susanoo that can basically do some things that, but the only thing is about that is people who's going to constantly run up about every single time is domain expansion, infinity void. But people can fail to realize is that is not a void that basically covers everywhere. It's just something that covers a radius that the person uses. So Kakashi can literally get in and out at that time. But let's not get this man started off. We're talking about a man, a copy ninja, he could use 1,000 jutsu arsenal. Let's not forget that as well. Not because he could copy you and use it, because I don't think he could copy a Jujutsu World Source. I think that's just he doesn't have curse manipulation. I don't think that's a thing.
That was actually going to be a question. Do you think Kakashi would be able to copy his domain?
That's the thing. I don't know, because I think that's one of those things where it's like you have to have a curse manipulation energy, but these are energy people who's trained by chakra. And can I copy a curse?
For the sake of this, I'll say no.
Because you got to think about this. Sasuke was cursed technically by the Orochimaru mark. That was a curse energy.
Mm-hmm.
But did Kakashi saw that curse energy? I don't think he did. I don't think he had.
But Kakashi doesn't have the cursed energy.
No, I said, but I don't think he's seen it though. Like visually seen the cursed energy. I'm pretty sure he saw like the fell. Did he see the fell lab rats?
Yeah, no. Kakashi, plus Kakashi spent all that time with Sasuke afterwards.
Right, but I'm just talking about like after the curse, because I think but I'm talking about like it's full activation going. They see the mark and all that. Like has Kakashi visually seen
the mark, seen the curse?
Yeah. Like seen a full-fledged curse before in the Naruto-verse.
No, as far as like when Sasuke went all out and did the full like curse in its full ability, no, because not many people saw that version.
So what about any other curse energy that was out there that has Kakashi?
Like, but as far as like the beginning version, like that,
no, yes. Later on out, because there's more of those. It was more of them as well, because Jugo was one of them. Fell experiments aside, things like that. The others curse. Like, have you seen any other curse energy?
As far as visually on the screen,
yeah.
No.
Okay, so that's one of those. See, and so we can't really say that. So that's a no. So I don't believe Kakashi can copy Gojo when it comes to curse energy. Because like I said, curse energy is something that you kind of have inside a potential, or you kind of like born with it or you're not. But they say people are curse energy, but other people, it's weird. I know, it's too much. It's too much information Jujutsu throws at you, but you just gotta just understand it. But after that fight, Kakashi, I will believe, will have Gojo by the upper hand of this, literally because even that, because he has Komobi, he has the Susanoo, he has a lot of things in the Thousand Jutsu of his arsenal to break that. And Infinity Void is one of those things that you have to literally be inside of his void. He can be able to get in and out of that because it is a void. Because people think it is a radius. I forgot, it is a radius. Excuse my language. Gojo has a radius that you can be able to get in and out because a domain especially is not something that is just infinity and beyond. No, it is a void that you are inside if you can break in or out. Because that's the case, then why they told you broke into one of the domains suspensions. Oops. So now. So we're gonna do this right. So out of respect to Gojo, I haven't seen what he do upcoming in the manga yet, because people saying Gojo in the manga is could be better than Kakashi in that world. So that's why I was like, I haven't reached that far. But for what I've seen and for what I know in the manga, and I haven't rested in the end about this stuff that y'all was spoiling me about, because I am still pissed about that, because now I can't get excited when I see that scene. I'm getting there, but what I've seen in the story by far, Team 7 would definitely wipe out the Gojos and all the other people, because like I said, the front three of the row, and it's just not even close compared to Kakashi students in the front row. I'm just saying. And then we want to talk about jumping, because Jujutsu Kaisen world is known for jumping.
So is Naruto's.
I was like, yeah, that's right. I respect that. I respect that. So I will say this, and when we're talking about a jumping fight and what they do when fighting each other, yeah, Team 7 will definitely take that. Team 7 will walk away happily and proud. But the students, easy fight. Kakashi and Gojo will be one of the most difficult fights. Before every one against Gojo won't even have stand a chance, bro. I don't think he'll stand a chance against that.
I know this would upset some Jujutsu Kaisen fans, and I love Jujutsu Kaisen. It's one of my current, top 3 current generation animes, if not number 1 current generation animes out there right now. But with that being said, when it comes to Nobara and Megumi, I'm sorry, it's not even close. And I like them just for the simple fact that, Nobara, real quick, I understand and I respect her abilities, but most of her abilities involves one of two things. Either number 1, being able to stick a pin in her opponent, or number 2, being able to get a piece of her opponent so that she can use those to attack without even touching them. The problem with that is, they've even said, even in her world, she has a disadvantage of that if she's not able to get a hold of them because she's not the fastest person in the world. They're ninjas! So, yeah, good luck with that. And even if by some stroke of luck you do manage to stick Sakura and try to explode her from the inside, then Hunter Healing is just going to cancel that out. And like you said, everything else, I really don't have much else to add, to be honest with you. You've laid that out perfectly. I'm sorry, just from the kids alone. And, I'm sorry, Naruto just has a better supporting cast of the 3 than the 3 over there. Over here, you got 3 incredible ninjas, Sakura included. But over here, as much as I like the cast, it's kind of Itadorian than everybody else.
I can't.
As far as against them.
Let me shut up. It's manga. I read manga.
As far as against them as we stand. Obviously, we're talking about an anime discussion because the manga is later.
But right, what I'm saying about that is,
now when the manga comes out,
because like I said, even that was in the manga, the purpose that was still been one of those things. It would still be kind of perfect they included in that as well, because people would have been like, Naruto manga to that aspect, you could include that too. I'm like, we can, and it's still wouldn't even.
But I'm not. Right.
But what I'm saying is, it still won't be close, even if you include a manga in both ends, is what I'm saying. So, and that's why I was like, when it comes to an anime, she played a lot of great roles and stuff like that. Even what she did right now, it's just like I said, the teaming, they got great teaming aspect when it comes to teamwork. It's just, like I said, yes. It's just, even if you put in a teamwork between the 2 teams, it's just, like I said, Megumi, Sasuke. Sasuke is too many arsenal that's too great against Megumi, and he has a wolf and a frog that is not enough. But if he summons Magigo, I get you. That is a god, basically a godlike curse energy person, technically, that he summoned. But Sukuna put that boy down by using the malevolent shrine, and Sasuke can do far more worse than that. We've seen it. So yeah. My man turned into a Susanoo brain, got all the Jinchurikis and put them in the goddamn meteor, and then used their powers just to attack Naruto as well, which is damn near even more the original aspect of what they're doing in towns. It's like you look at them and it's like, yeah, we destroy villages and towns. It's like, bitch, we destroy landscapes over here. What are you talking about? Like what? But don't get me wrong, Sukuna did with his 200-mile radius. Don't get me wrong. When you fight and Jugo to them, like when you saw that fight, they were destroying landscapes. They was. Like Sukuna was just dog walking them like it was just nothing, destroying the entire Shibuya downtown. They did. They literally destroyed the entire Shibuya downtown. Train, stairs, cities. Like, bro, like they destroyed everything. They did. But it's just when you look at these two boys over there and you saw their godly fight versus the one that we seen, what the hell are y'all talking about versus what they were doing over there? My man got punched in the moon, bro. He got punched in the moon. I ain't seen these two get punched in the moon.
Yeah, you gotta start thinking about like the level of the people they've had to fight too. And
He
then
got punched to the moon. These two them boys over there haven't even managed to know what a moon fight is. This boy had to face an Omi Gimme God with a damn staff, and they had to both put their whole thing together and made a big old diabolic landscape, and more than one city's going fighting. So, like, bro, they gotta understand. It's levels to this shit. They standing on business. It's levels to this shit. It's levels to this shit. And I said what I said. So it is what it is. Y'all can hate me all you want.
One Piece is real!
And
I told you the
said
realest
what he
what
said,
I,
ladies and gentlemen.
I tell you about this whole entire fight.
Now, this conversation doesn't end here because archive of this will be posted later in the week on the website. So feel free, if you weren't here today, to go there. Feel free to give us your opinions. We want to hear them. We want to know what you guys think. Some of y'all are going to say we're crazy. Some of y'all are going to agree. We know how this works. All the way around. W Stream. Thank you so much, Kitty.
Thank you, sweetheart. We appreciate you, sweetheart. Thank you.
What I'm going to say, we're dressed for the occasion.
Let's talk about it.
Go ahead and get into it.
Let's talk about it. Let's
I think I
talk
kind of
about
want to break this down into categories real quick.
it.
And we can talk about them one by one. And then we can kind of give into what we would say our actual final review of this live action was. Because I did watch the live action, he watched the live action, that's why we do a review here. So, let's just start with the characters themselves. Like, how do you think the characters, the people that they picked, the actors and actresses, how do you think that they looked?
I don't think the actors was a problem when it came to me. Because I had to keep thinking about this with the live action because people thought Usopp was supposed to have a long nose, but he doesn't. But it still worked well. So I had to look at this and tell people not to look at this as something a high tier of what you expect, you know, because like I said, I know One Piece had a hard bar when it came to the live action now. So I just tell people to look at this movie as their perspective because they're not going to follow the manga fully. Even though I did watch it, there was a couple of, I ain't gonna say a couple, there were some things I was like, come on now, what are we doing? That's important because you can't just downplay that like it's nothing. But we'll talk about that in a minute. But the characters, no man, I think each character, I think they did great when it came to introducing the characters. Because like I said, they introduced Kurama very well. They definitely did cool Yusuke. Oh my god, that drop kick in the chest was beautiful. I loved it. I loved that scene. That was a great drop kick. I said, damn, that came out of nowhere. I love that. That was good. When it came to Kuwabara talking and all that stuff, that was great. Hiei, I feel like when it came to Hiei, he was cool, but I think people looked at they put him a little bit too dark for Hiei. Because Hiei was not that dark of a person when you look at him in the show and stuff aspect, because he still cracked jokes at people at times. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it came to Kuwabara and Hiei. And that's one of those things where I feel like, you know, because Kuwabara and Hiei have chemistry as well. But I get it to where they're trying to go in the beginning. But if they were doing that, they still had some chemistry in the beginning of them arguing back and forth. So it was kind of like there was some things were missing in there. I do like the Yusuke Kurama story. That was really good. I liked the way how they was like you know with the mirrors, what they all had to do to make sure they become very powerful. What they are, they had to steal the three up, the knife, the mirror, the book. I mean, not the book, the jar, whatever. I forgot the jar called, but they did. I feel like they introduced each of them well. It was fast paced.
Like I said, but right now we're just talking about like the characters themselves.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We'll get to the plot later.
I'm talking about the characters themselves.
Right.
I feel like the characters was fast paced when it came to some of them though, because I just feel like they were just trying to make sure some of them was just like, okay, let's just get their story out there and just move on. Because it was like, what I mean is, and one of the great examples is Kuwabara. So like Kuwabara was one of those things. I feel like they were just like, hey, y'all know Kuwabara, right? All right, here he is. It's like, you're not going to talk about his sister. We're not going to get something about that. Like, he has family members too. You know what I'm saying? Like, they introduced that in the beginning. Like, where is that? You know what I'm saying? So it's like they were just throwing that out there when it came to Kuwabara. And I just feel like when it came to some things, with Kuwabara, some things needed to be fixed. And when I say it needs to be fixed, it introduces his chemistry and his wits out more. Anything, but I get what y'all wanted to say at me with a couple of things, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But but when it comes to Kuwabara and them introducing him in the story, I feel like they could execute that just a little bit better.
Okay, a couple of things on the characters, because that's where we are right now. Because there was a couple of things I did see out there that people, had opinions about. It's like you said, you already kind of touched on a little bit when it was like Usopp in the nose. It's like, I hope people didn't really think in a live action they were really going to have a character with a nose that was out there that far.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing I saw about Kuwabara was his hair.
Yes. Because that's a signature, but they thinking that's like, but they forget that's like the back of the day hairstyle. So they got to keep up with the time now hairstyle to make him look cool.
Technically, Kurama doesn't have the same hairstyle either.
Right. Like most of them don't. So
it's the same color, but it's not the same style.
Like most of them don't. It was like I said, it was just one of those things where it was just like, like, Kuwabara's not even skinny. Kuwabara's a buff, tall kid. But like I said, you have to understand the different adaptation of time. And I respect it of what they were trying to do. So like I said, don't look at this as in too much of the manga aspect, because you got to look at, because this is an alternative way of them doing this. So that's why I was like.
Besides, the manga is actually a lot darker than the anime. Yeah, most of them jokes y'all see in that anime do not exist. I mean, Koenma has a whole goofy sidekick that does not even exist in the mangas.
Let's not go there. Let's not go there.
Doesn't exist.
Let's not go there. Just like Dragon Ball Z, Launch doesn't exist.
I know. Well, no. Well, Launch is but the other two don't do this tonight, Brain. Don't do this tonight. King Kai, his people, the Bug, he doesn't exist in the manga. Yeah. So Gregory, yeah.
Bye-bye.
He doesn't exist. They just created him for the anime.
Let's not even go this route. Let's not even go this route.
No, I'm just saying, just because there's some people that talk about, how there isn't a lot of like jokes and stuff in the live action, but I'm like, but there weren't really a lot of jokes and stuff in the manga, so.
But like I said, I understood that though, because like I said it's too out of it. It's like we got two different versions. You got
exactly.
You got two different versions. You got a great comedy version with a great action like that you got, versus strictly full action. No love story, nothing, just strictly action. And that's one thing I can honestly say about that show. And that show has great visuals. There is no denying that. Because when they introduced Toguro and his transformation, there is no denying of the visuals of Yu Yu Hakusho has definitely shown on the show.
Now let me ask you this.
Yeah, perfectly.
Back to the characters real quick. How did you feel about, because I'm the same way, like Kuwabara's hair, like it didn't bother me. My whole thing is, can you play these characters? Because they're going to find and scout the best people for the job. So it's like, I didn't think he did a bad job performance-wise as Kuwabara. I actually liked the drip that Kurama had on, like that red sequence thing he has on. It's got like the designs on it.
Yeah.
I was like, he's looking good out here. We're looking like a freaking pimp. Looking like a freaking pimp.
He has a new outfit.
Yeah.
That's not the same outfit Ihei has on. Ihei has a cloak, y'all.
Yeah.
He has a cloak. He doesn't have the freaking long sleeves and stuff like no. It's just a cloak, a long driven cloak. No, they gave him a nice pants and his headband and things like that. It's just different. It's just different. Like I said, they just literally look at the newer time and just change the adaptation of different hairstyles. Because my hairstyle is different because my hairstyle is like a nice little bang curly up there in the front. No, he doesn't have that. It's just fully down, like pretty Japan way. And their
let's get to the star real quick, because obviously you always talk about how Yusuke is one of your favorite characters. So how did you feel about the performance of Yusuke?
This is where we're finna go the opposite way a little bit. Okay. All right. So I feel like the Yusuke now that we got in the movie. I don't want to be that guy, but I got to be that person.
Be him.
I love the way when we see the actual visualization after you're rescuing the character and stuff like that. I just feel like, I'm not mad at the actor, because I'm not going to say the actor played a terrible role, because there's lines in there that the actor just got to do what he do, because there's lines in the movie that he has to play, because a lot of people forget about that. It's just because the actor said the words doesn't mean he's bad. It's just some of the lines in the movie where you just like, oh, okay. So there was this one particular scene on there that they tried to include, trying to say it's a tournament, but they were trying to like pull the string like it was a dart tournament. So that's where I was like, okay, all right. Because then we got Yusuke. Him and the acting way was cool, but there were just a couple of scenes that I was just like very questionable. The one that it was on a boat going there, and then he was just like trying to be, it was like cringe to me a little bit. It was like, if you hurt Kikyo, I'll hurt you. You better not hurt her. I'm like, dog, you ain't even acting like this in a manga. I feel like that could have been left out, because he's already said his piece how he felt about her in the beginning, because we're just already going there to the island, do what we got to do, because y'all didn't say the spirit gun the entire time, and I expected him to say the spirit gun at the last day. I expected that, and I said good, because you can't have the entire show without saying spirit gun. So yes, I'm happy that they kind of like, cut that down a little, because Yusuke didn't really say spirit gun like that in the actual manga, so and the show, so keep that in mind. So the acting was very cool. The lines up there, what he did was kind of like very, I wish he kind of never really done that. But when it came to the fighting scenes, he definitely did a great job in the adaptation when it came to the fighting. When it came to him, like on this one particular scene, when it came to Kuwabara, that was a great scene. But then it went like, ooh! Then, not the mother, because now he got revived in the fire. But then he woke up and saved her. Wait, what? That don't make sense a little bit here, but
we'll get the plot later.
But then let's go right back up on a positive note. We get Genkai arc. Okay, relationship really good. There's some lines in there that's familiar. Okay, yeah, all right. And then there's some fights and scenes. Like, cool. But where's the teacher? The teacher's supposed to be, it's not. Come on, why are we doing this right now? Why are you making me feel that way? Wait, but we got a nice Kikyo and Yusuke love scene. That's great. Now let's talk about it. Because Kikyo was doing great. It was like, yay, But then he goes back to smoking a cigarette and go back down. And I'm just like, come on. Don't do this to me. He don't smoke cigarettes, but I hate it. But it's okay, whatever. He's a bad boy.
He does smoke cigarettes in the manga.
I was like, but the thing is, it was just like, when you look at it, it's just like people, when you accept the fact of what it is now, because like I said, if you accept the fact of what Yusuke is in the manga, in the animation world, you're going to accept the fact of like what they bring it to you like this. So it's just like, when we end into the like that in the animation world, people are going to expect it in the animation world. Because it's like, yeah, they could put some things that include in the manga, but it's like, okay, good. We can have this manga adaptation, but you still got to remember there are some things in the animation scene that we got to keep, and that is still signature as well. So that's why it was just like, now we put that back in there, but we're supposed to stop it. But I respect it for what they're trying to do. He's a bad boy, badass. All right, cool. I'll accept it, whatever. Because it was like that's where it comes like there's things that's like up and then there's down and there's up are really good, but then there's some down things and things. So there was like Yusuke as a main character of what he is in acting was like great job of like trying to act, but the lines and some of the things that he was doing in the scene was just like kind of not even the same compatible of the same animation or the adaptation on the manga like that. But it was just like you just receptive, like I tell people, just receptive to what it is and let it just cook, let them cook and see how far we could go. So everything else was good as an actor. They just had like a couple of hot takes up and down where you're just like, they didn't even need to add that. They could literally just took that out and get straight to the point. They didn't really have to do that scene. So that's how I felt about the Yu Yu Hakusho when it came to him, my man himself. Because like I said, especially when it came to the fire scene, and he was supposed to be revived in a certain amount of time with this, and I see where they was going for that. But it did hurt me a little bit because it kind of lost the love lust interest of them two a little bit. So it's like, I see where y'all going with this, but I accept it.
Right, but that's also more plot than actually how he performed it. Even if it's a scene that you might not like, it's like, but did he perform well in that scene? You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, even when he did that scene, that's what was like, down.
For me, I think it kind of depends on how you guys watched the Yu Yu Hakusho live action remake, because obviously these are Asian actors doing this in Japanese. So if you watched it in its original, fine. But most people probably watched it dubbed, which, now has English, has like English voices going over their mouths, kind of like anime style.
Mm-hmm.
And for the sake of me doing a review, I watched both. So I saw it in Japanese and I saw it with the English. I'm going to talk more towards the English because I know that's how most people watched it that's going to watch our stuff. And when it comes to the English voiceovers, I've just felt like, and I get and I think a lot of live action versions of things become guilty of this. I'm not saying that you want to go cartoony with it because it's not a cartoon, but at the same time, then it just kind of felt like everything everybody said, especially Yusuke, just always sounded so dark and serious. It's like
there's no fun in it.
Everything.
It's a live action. They took all of that away.
It's like like literally
there's not one comedy in there. They took
like,
all of that.
That's even without the comedy. I'm talking
about animation.
I'm talking about like emotion. Like with the Yusuke, it's like every emotion sound like this. You know what? I don't care. I'm never gonna go up. I'm never gonna go down. I just sound like this throughout the whole thing. With only a few times where it seemed like he even raised his voice a little bit. So it was like, I get he's supposed to be this nonchalant, but there were times where I felt like, show a little more emotion in your voice, that he just didn't. And I was just like, because the way you say things can also pull you into stuff too. It isn't always just what you say, it's how you say it. And for me, there were a couple of people that were guilty of that. I kind of give Hiei a pass just because of his character. But for Yusuke, for me, just personally, I just felt like there were times where, at least on the English dubs, the people, when they went in and actually dubbed those over. And I can get that can be kind of hard to do because now you're kind of asking them to voice to what's happening instead of saying things while you're doing it. So it's kind of a hard ask. So it's not something I'm going to destroy them over, but it's something I definitely noticed that I have to kind of put them down here when it comes to that. And it was really mostly with Yusuke himself. Like the others, I thought Keiko was fine. You know what I'm saying? I thought the way Korobara performed, I thought was fine. You know what I'm saying? And the others, they kind of were there. I thought Genkai was actually really good. I absolutely loved the performance from Botan. And I also enjoyed the look of Botan. Like I thought they did a really good job casting Botan all together.
Mm-hmm.
And but that's where I am there overall. But so off of the actors real quick, the visuals are what they are, so we don't really need to get into that. Let's get into, before we get into the plot, let's get into these stunts, these fight scenes.
Tell
me about these fight scenes, sir.
Like I said, that's what the visuals comes in, because visual made the fight scene even better.
No, I'm saying I'm putting them together is what I meant to say.
You can't even leave that out. So it's
that's what I meant. I'm putting them together.
Like I said, That's one thing I absolutely said since the beginning. The visuals of this entire show, you can't even deny it. It was absolutely great. There's no downplaying of the visual, especially to the Tagoro fighting scene with Hiei, because they did something that was actually different. Because we didn't get that. We didn't get the Tagoro, Hiei, Kurama, and them fighting together like that.
Mhm.
You feel what I'm saying? Like we didn't get that, but we got a what if. You know, it was like, what if all them three just ran up on them just because they felt like that, because they was all talking like they had that talk in the tournament. But in the difference in compared to them in the tournament, Kurama and Hiei was out of commission because Dragon of the Darkness Flame, he tried to use his yokai, Kuwabara.
Plus, that was an actual tournament, so you had to do 1v1s.
You know what I'm saying? So that's
This
why
was
I
their
said
version of the Dark
what
Tournament, but
they
it
did
wasn't really a
what
tournament.
if. That's why I was like, that was a great what if moment they did. That was like, what if? Like, just hear me out. We didn't really see them three fight Tagoro in the beginning. Because, like I said, y'all got to think about this. They didn't do the tournament of Dark Power, but it was still a tournament. They did.
Technically, which, by the way,
it was a tournament,
if
but
you guys love the Dark Tournament,
mindset is this, though. Yu Yu Hakusho was known for the tournament of Dark Power, so I don't even know how. I don't know if they even done with this or they even gonna. I don't even know how.
They're not, because the Dark Tournament ended with Tagoro.
That's why I was like,
there's not going to be a Dark Tournament in this live action,
and that's where everything fell off to me, because the tournament of Dark Power was the most highlighted in the entire show. There's no denying that. Because now we won't even be able to. Now, if they ever do another tournament, they might pull another what if, because they did a what if in the Yu Yu Hakusho. So they might pull another what if in the thing, because y'all got to think about this. We still got the other spirit detective that Yusuke got to go after. So
yeah, he's coming.
So when they do with him, we get to see Demon Yusuke and all the other stuff like that. But it's just the only downfall of that to me, because it was just like, even Genkai Death to me felt a little bit soft to me, because it was just like when we saw the Tagoro try to fight. That's one scene I wanted to see, because I wanted to see them fight. But they just made it nice and quick. Just, nah. We're just going to just let this go. Because Kurama fighting the bomb guy, I forgot his name. That was a great fighting scene, because they actually introduced the yokai out, which was great. I love that shit. I was turned up when I saw the yokai. I was like, okay, if y'all gonna make this super quick, you gotta bring out the yokai. So they brought the yokai. I was like, oh shit, cool. I said, so play it right. Hit me. I said, the flowers didn't do it. Just stay on the road with me. Okay, I'm feeling it. I'm here. But the biggest, like I said, the Kurama and the bomb fight was my favorite out of all the other fights that I've seen. I could give the Yusuke hitting Tagoro to the ground and literally made him sink through the ground after the punch, because that was a great visual aspectation. But it's just something about Kurama just have that whip and is trying to get him with the bombs. And they made the bombs different, because in there, the visuals you were supposed to, in the manga or in the show, it's invisible, but you can still see what the bombs look like when he actually see it in yokai version. But in their version, they didn't really do like the demon monsters, or they just made the bombs invisible and just had like a weird orb flame into it. So there were some things too. Did he do the blonde hair explosion? No, he didn't. He didn't do the blonde hair explosion, because Kurama put him down by putting the seed aside. So the visuals of fights was great when it came to most of the scenes, because like I said, I'm not even mad at that. I think the only visual was let down. Well, I ain't say let down. It was kind of like he should have been going, was the Kuwabara getting chased by the dog. But then when I saw him got chased by the dog, I said, Kuwabara, what are you doing? You have a spirit sword. Put that dog in this. What are we doing? Like, I just want to hear the spirit sword, or just pull the sword out. Don't care. Just pull it out. Use it. You got it. But it was like it. But
you saw what happened later. But we'll get into the plot in a minute. But you saw what they ended up saying later.
So we'll
get to that.
Whatever. But it was like, what the fuck ever, bro. But like the Kuwabara, like that scene was like too important, because like I said, Kuwabara is an iconic character to me in Yu Yu Hakusho, because he plays a lot of important keys in the show. So if you do Kuwabara, you have to give him some push. You know what I'm saying? Something that makes him feel like he's a star. They only gave him like a star moment when Yusuke to get motivation to be finishing his training after he learns to pull out his spirit sword. But it was like, okay, what? Okay, he got motivation for looking at his best friend to actually go to training and finish what he's doing. All right, cool, whatever. But that was like the only most iconic moment Kuwabara really had the entire thing, besides them trying to pull the DEATH scene on him with Toguro in the end to be like, this is not enough, Yusuke.
Right, we'll get to that.
So then Hiei fights. I feel like the Yusuke and Hiei fight was pretty fire, though. I can't deny that. I can't deny the Yusuke Hiei fight. It was pretty fire. That fight was too good. When Yusuke walked in, it was like, so you gonna take? So where is she? I have no idea what you're talking about. So you don't know what I'm talking about? All right, no talking. Like I'm like, oh wait, so we just doing hands automatic? Bet. I'm with that. And that's one thing I can actually say, because the live action was like, because in the animation it gives you a little monologue before you fight, but the live action was just like, I ain't talking no more, bro. I'm done talking. If we finna fight, we're doing this now. Ain't none of that. The only person who had the audacity to talk like that was Toguro and his little brother. That was the only two people who had the right to talk like that. The entire show. No one else. No one else. Because that man was talking, it was like, I'm at my 30% of power. I didn't even go 80. It was good. Like, I would say Toguro actually was good. I like his suit too. It was all black walking around. Like, they changed the color because, it was green and a little tan over here. This new generation, he was like, nah, I'm looking like I'm buff Neo out here. Like, what are we talking about? He's like Neo with Resident Evil 5 villain mixed together when in the newer version. And it looks so good. It looks so good. So, the visuals, I give him the visuals in the fighting scenes because there was not a moment in there I was not sitting down because I was standing up. I was standing up watching those fights because I said, ooh, and those are good if you get me standing up when it comes to fight scenes. He's seen it. He knows it. If you get me standing up, be like, oh my God, and commentating while you're fighting, yep, you did a great job. And that's how I was with the it came to every fight. The fight scenes did not let me down. They did not let me down with the fight scenes.
At the end of the day, even though this is not an anime, it's still based off of shonen. And the one thing shonen has to be able to bring to the table are fights.
Yep.
So if you don't get anything else right in something like this, you have to, like performance, plot, whatever, you have to nail the fights.
You cannot slack on those fights, especially when Yusuke finally said spirit gun. I said, just say it. Just say it. You cannot go in this entire movie without saying it. You cannot. You didn't even say shotgun. You ain't say none of that. I don't care. But you gotta say the signature. If you don't say the signature, I'm gonna be upset. That's like Goku not saying Kamehameha. You better at least as my favorite protagonist,
if only
say spirit gun. You better say spirit gun. And then he was like, I'm gonna give everything and this is my last shot. Spirit gun. I said, thank you. That's all I was waiting for. That's all I wanted. Because I was saying we went too far without spirit guns, and we was getting to the end without him saying spirit gun. I'm like, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Come on, let me hear him say it. Let me hear you say it.
Yes, we are, Kitty. Yes, the fight scenes. I thought the fight scenes were very well done. Like whoever did the choreography on the fight scenes, I say well done. Because that's the thing. Like they gotta look good. I lowered the volume. Okay, well, you still see that I still have review above my head, Kitty. So even if you can't hear us,
bruh.
I'm good. Hold on, one more.
I haven't seen it yet, but very unsatisfied. You can't really say you're unsatisfied about something you haven't seen. We haven't given our final thoughts yet. But no, the fight scenes I thought were really good. Like I said, that's something that has to be very, very, very well done.
Yes.
I was into most of the fight scenes.
Oh yes. Wait, most of them? So what was it? Which one was it? You said most of them, so that doesn't mean all of them. Which one was it?
I'm not saying that any of the fight scenes were necessarily bad. It's just, some fights are going to be better than others. That's just all I'm saying. Like, for me personally, I wear this for a reason. And I guess maybe I just wanted a little bit more from this fight.
Which one?
With Kurama when they were on the boat.
Ah.
But, you know, didn't hate it. I just, you know, felt like there could have been a little more. Like, and I'll get into it more with like plot, but like even with the whole like trying to get him to turn into his yokai half, and it was just it's gonna fall in the plot a little more, so I'm gonna end it right there. Because I will circle back to that. But you know what? Let's go ahead and get into it. So now, obviously, we know we basically got 3 versions of Yu Yu Hakusho now, guys, because the manga and the anime are different in a lot of ways, which is why again it's hard for someone to go, well, is the live action going to be exactly like the anime? It's like, well, from what I've seen, they took elements from the anime, they took elements from the manga, and they also took elements from just being themselves and being something original. So just like those were their own things, this was kind of their own thing. You know, like the first half of the manga kind of got adapted pretty well into the anime, with the exception of the fact that Yusuke didn't smoke, drink, or gamble, you know, like he did in the manga.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, but that they took that stuff out because they wanted to gear Yu Yu Hakusho more towards kids. You know, now the ending in the manga is completely different. You know, that's one of those few aspects like people wanted for Attack on Titan. That was one of those few aspects where when they animated it, they changed the ending of Yu Yu Hakusho in the anime versus the manga. They're not the same.
They're not.
And people to this day kind of have their opinions on which ending they prefer. But all right, but you know what? Let's just go ahead and get into it. But as far as the live action, the plot, the pacing, everything they did, the stuff they portrayed, just the overall story of everything. Floor is yours, sir. How do you feel about how they handled?
I feel like it was way too fast. Way too fast. Way too fast. Because there was so many other parts they could have, and I feel like they could have intruded. Because like I said, Kuwabara has a fucking sister. We're not gonna act like she don't exist. We cannot act like she don't exist. She plays an important role in this as well. Because she was sensing every energy and stuff that was going on. I'm like, damn, where is her sister, bro? Like, hold on. Like, she's part of this too. Like, you can't just not have the sister a part of this because she plays a role in this. But whatever. I guess we just take her out like she don't exist. Because Kuwabara has to go home, and every time Kuwabara go home, he says, my sister is part energy too, and she kind of helps me synthesize with some of my spirit energy and stuff. Because because we have a family of spirit people, and apparently she was. I just feel like that kind of hurt me a little bit. Like I said, you already know.
By the way, Kitty, I see where you say you don't like Koenma, so you can explain that in the bottom why he keeps going.
I feel like the fire scene with Yusuke coming back to life. I like how they did that instead of like, you know, kind of how they did it in animation and stuff, you know. But that kind of, but it does show off a little love interest between the two, because that's kind of how we kind of understood that they kind of like each other a lot more than just usual, because she would protect his body. But I get the fact of her going inside of the fire just to retrieve his body was enough. So I accepted that too for what that is, because yeah, I accepted that. What us was gonna give me is we're not gonna really get. I hope so, but like I said, they took out so many important things inside of this. It just really hurt me. Like, we didn't really see the part of. We really didn't even get Koenma. Like, oh my god, we really didn't get Koenma. Him really struggling to get the yokai, because he couldn't really just pull it off of his ass like that. He had to literally learn and train or use the medicine to really get him into the stage the way it was, or some other person use some other item to make the yokai come out. So that's why I was like, okay, but I accept it for what that is. They just have him controlling it, even though I guess that lets me know I guess he's coming if they're making him controlling it right now. Because they're having him controlling it right now, then obviously when we get the new spirit, the ex-spirit detective, he's going to be able to control it and face him in the demon world. I feel like, oh, the spirit leader, what's his name? The damn pacifier baby. That was one of the important ones for me.
That's what we're talking about. That's what Kitty was talking about.
Koenma. Yeah, Koenma. That's what I say. That was Koenma was. I feel like he was one of the most. He plays. He's important too. because I'm not mad at him not being a baby. He's an adult and he was supposed to be serious, but I'm like, but he's not that serious. He's not that
Right,
serious.
because technically he does take the form of an adult in the anime.
Yes, but it's like when you look at him, I'm like, he's not that serious. Even in the manga, he's not that serious. He's a junior he's still learning because his dad is not around. So he's picking up his dad's slack to be that, but he still has that kiddie or childish mentality a little bit. But he still gets the job done seriously with the ogres and stuff like that. You don't even get the ogres in there no more, which is kind of hurts me a little bit because I love the ogres. The ogres are just gone. Like, they don't even matter in this show no more. And it's just like, but the ogres is what made Yusuke great because they just kept talking shit in the background. It's like, shut up! You know, my favorite scene in the entire show. So I feel like the show was super fast paced. It really was. But I see what they were going for because they were trying to focus on the important key parts of the show. And I understood that outspurt of its originality of what they were trying to do with it. So I couldn't really get too butthurt about it, even though it hurts a little bit because I actually do love them. So it's like, he played a good role. And then, especially when he was supposed to when he made that bet with the guy and didn't do it. Now, let's get to the gambling of the entire operation. The guy who had Hiei's sister. Let's get into him real quick because I kind of forgot about the background of people of smuggling. Let's talk about them characters because they were supposed to play like put a bet and stuff on it along and stuff like that.
The person that got to play him, by the way, I thought looked really good.
Yes, absolutely. They did great. They did great with him. He was greedy, gnarly, such a pig, just like how he was. He was supposed to be like that. The only thing I just kind of miss a little bit is Tagoro actually taking him out, because, Tagoro was, the whole thing was fixed in the first place, but since it was just like, well, the original plan was Yusuke was supposed to.
Like, he, instead of actually doing it, he just has it as a throwaway line.
Yeah.
Like, the original plan was to throw the fight, because obviously in the regular one, they did throw the fight.
So that's why I was like, okay, they mentioned that. Respect. Whatever, right? So
they did that to satisfy fans. They threw that line in there. Like, we haven't forgot that happened. But in this version, it's not happening. But we'll still say that was the plan.
Right.
So hopefully not piss y'all off too much.
They did some good keys, but it was just too fast paced for me because there's characters y'all still got to introduce to make them look great. So there's some other things that makes this plot look great. And Genkai Death scene, you can't belittle that scene to me. Personally, I feel like you really couldn't belittle that scene too much for me. Like, y'all could have just, how Yusuke got emotion and all and stuff, but he got emotional about that at the tournament and pushed his power out, so I get that. But because in the original, he learned, but then he wasn't using his full extent powers. Technically, he wasn't doing that as well in there until Kuwabara has to go down. Then Genkai said things. So I like the part of them taking out the Genkai part, coming back from the soul, the Yusuke, you idiot, and all the X stuff, because they were trying to get to the point with the Yusuke part. But it's just the Genkai scene, it was supposed to be a major part of Yusuke's life. That's one of the most important scenes for Yusuke. You can't just go in and just show me a scene and just Tagoro just then out of nowhere, the deed is done. And then walks out. I'm like, at least let me see the punch. I at least want to see Genkai at least go crazy.
We didn't even get to see the fight.
Because you can't be Genkai as a master and not have Genkai at least have a little bit. Because at least in the show, you get to see a little bit of taste of Genkai's work. You know what I'm saying?
You see the fight. You see some of the fight. You didn't get to see it at all.
It's like you just only see Genkai training Yusuke. That's it. And it's just like, I'm like, nah, you can't do that, no. Like, Genkai. And then when he gave the spirit order to Yusuke, I'm like, can he struggle a little bit? Like, is that enough struggle? Okay, whatever. I'll take it. I accept it. I'll take it. Whatever. I'll take it. Because like I said, the show they making an hour-long show. They're trying to find out what part is very important to the story to make it shorter than what they was. So that's why I was like, I'll take what they have. What they're showing me on the table as a huge Yu Yu Hakusho fan that look at all the plot in the manga and all the expo. It's like, I will accept that. You know what I'm saying? But it's just, when you take out some of the most important keys that will make the show even great, it hurts me just as a fan a little bit. Just a little bit. Because it's just like I said, the Genkai That was super important to me. And you can't just belittle Genkai death like Genkai. When you hear Genkai in the whole entire demon world, they fear that name. Even other people, you feel what I'm saying? So it's like Genkai. You can't just say Genkai and just belittle her name on that show. Like you got to put at least some more meaning into her. Like put some more meaning into Genkai a little bit. You're not just gonna just the deed is done. Like no, don't do me like that. Don't do that. Don't do that, bro. And Bowtie had emotional attached with it too. We didn't even get that. Like, don't do Genkai like that. But they did. So, yeah, I'll let them have it.
Okay. Here's the thing on my end. Again, because I'm not going to get on them too much about not having certain characters, because One Piece did the same thing. When we watched the live action, we were like, where are certain people? Like, wait, where are they?
Yeah, we know that, but like we said, we understood about if they're them taking out how much information One Piece has in that arc of what they put, but for them to round it up for that arc, we understood because there's other arcs they're still doing. They're going to portray. Yu Yu Hakusho is kind of different because they're not even trying to do that. It's just more of a
right. But it's like we said, your boy, the octopus guy, when we talked about how he was not in the live action, he was not at all on part.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, we understand you might not want to bring every character in, but considering he plays a role in One Piece down the road.
Yep.
And if now you can't use him down the road because now it's not going to mean anything because he was never introduced.
Yep, because Nami was
literally something then.
Yep.
Exactly. But now he had nothing to do with that.
Yep.
So now you can't
got along. They probably see him. They probably still gonna add him, but that time now you're gonna have him like a hateful meeting.
It's not gonna mean anything.
It's not.
Speaking of not meaning anything, let me get to what I feel about the Yu Yu Hakusho live action. Like you said, fast paced. I could make the case that it's a little too fast paced, and here's what I mean by that. Yes, you cannot go through everything because that's not the point. You were going to do your season. You did 5 episodes first season. But the fact that in your first 5 episodes, you've already gone all the way through the Dark Tournament.
And you can't just knock the Dark Tournament out like that. You can't.
Like that's half the show. No, they've just done half the show in 5 episodes.
Too fast.
That means in season 2, which has been announced, in season 2, they're pretty much going to wrap up the whole series.
Because the only thing is left is
the game tournament, and then the final tournament for control of the Demon World.
But are they even going to do that?
We don't know.
Because they haven't even done a lot of things. They just
technically they have no tournaments because the boat fight, that wasn't a tournament. That wasn't a tournament. That was more of a level fight, kind of like a Bruce Lee movie. Like that was kind of like
in the beginning, like just them in the beginning raiding the castle,
splitting off, fighting enemies, and then coming together. It wasn't a tournament.
They did that, but they try to call that a tournament, and that's like
that was not a tournament.
That is not a tournament at all. That is not a tournament.
I mean, it's only like 6 people. It's like it's not a tournament, you know. But no, as far as fast-paced things, first of all, let me get into some of the changes that they did that I didn't really have a problem with. Like, as you'll notice, Yusuke, they put smoking back with Yusuke. He did it in the manga, so I didn't have a problem with that. Yusuke's mom, you notice, she was different than the anime, but also different from the manga, because obviously in the anime, Yusuke's mom was a freaking raging alcoholic who was just not around.
Yes.
At all.
Like she walked in, she was like, "Oh, you skipped school again, son? Okay." I was like,
even when they had Yusuke's body, she was letting trash pile up on it. She was just leaving it at home as she leaves off on one of her binges for days. Keiko had to come take care of it. Keiko there, and he's like, "Oh, take care of Yusuke's body for a while. I'm gonna go out." Like that was Yusuke's mom in the anime, but you know, in the live action, she doesn't seem like she's that. They did not introduce her as someone who's a screw up or alcoholic. The only time you saw her drinking is when she had a drink at the bar after Yusuke was gone. Which I mean, if your son died, you go have a drink too.
That's the average. That's
what I'm saying. If that happened in your life, you go have a drink too. So they didn't display her as this terrible mother, which again I'm fine with because in the manga yes, she's kind of a terrible mother in the manga, but in the manga, completely different. Because in the manga, heck, she can detect spirit energy.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, she was at the Dark Tournament in the manga. So the difference is, so that didn't really bother me. I was like, you know what, that's fine. Like I said, Keiko, I did think it was interesting that they allowed her to take down one of the people when they escaped. It was like, wow, and she's like, all the wrestling with Yusuke kind of paid off. It was like, okay, you know what, I don't mind that either, really. Like I said, you're gonna do some things. Definitely put them in there. I already talked about the main characters when I talked about them. I thought all of them were done pretty well. But then when we get into the stuff that they didn't do, like, you could leave the stuff out that you left out, but you needed to put more time into what you left in.
Yep.
Because I'm going to go forward and then I'm going to kind of back up a little bit. Let's get to Genkai real quick.
Mm-hmm.
We had all this time with Genkai.
Yes.
Yusuke had all this time with Genkai with the training and the tournament and all of this stuff that they had together, which is why it meant something when he found out when she died in his arms.
And then ran up to Toguro and tried to punch him, but still then wasn't enough. But it wasn't still enough. But his emotion was still there. Like, you son of a...
In the live action, he went up there, met Genkai for the very first time, trained for her for what, like maybe a week?
Yes. It wasn't 20. It wasn't even a month. It wasn't even a month.
It was maybe a week. Maybe.
Right. He learned all that less than a week.
You meet this person for the first time, train with them maybe a week, and then she dies, and you're going to get emotional? You don't know this woman.
But like I said, look how short they bring her in.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we literally introduced, hey guys, here's Genkai. Oh, hey, look, she's going to train Yusuke for half an episode. And as soon as he leaves, Toguro shows up.
Right. Genkai was the main reason why Yusuke
right after they leave.
War.
Right after they leave, Toguro shows up.
Like, what?
And then they leave the scene, and then he comes back.
Right.
And she's gone. How can you, like, why is Yusuke going to be emotional that Genkai's gone? Why are we going to care that Genkai is gone? Like, they created this show, even though anytime you create a new product, you got to think about the fact that you're trying to bring in a new audience, right? Not just the audience that's there. Because you're not just trying to make a successful show for Yu Yu Hakusho fans. You're trying to make a successful show to get more eyes on it. But they created the show for people where if you've never watched Yu Yu Hakusho, you're not going to know what's going on with a lot of the stuff, and you're not going to have an emotional attachment. Because if that's my very first time ever even being introduced to Yu Yu Hakusho, why do I care that Genkai is gone?
And your facts are not even going to be right.
Like, why do I care that she's gone? She had 20 minutes of screen time. Yusuke did not spend a lot of time with her. Oh, and by the way, she did not come back to life.
She did not. She was gone. Finito.
Because since this was not a dark tournament, there was no winner, so there was no wish. So Genkai's just gone.
Too fast for me.
So how are they going to work that into the rest of the series? I mean, I guess they could always magically, just do some throwaway line of, Koenma brought her back to life or whatever. But the fact that she had 20 minutes of screen time. You can't get emotional attachment in someone that blink and they're unless you just already know Yu Yu Hakusho and you already know the plot and you know what's happening. All right, same thing with the rest of the characters. You show the scene where they go after the 3 collectibles. We got Hiei and them, and then he just kind of shows up and, he does his fight to get the ball back. And, Chroma's just kind of standing over there watching. And then all of a sudden he just comes over there and is like, yeah, I kind of like you. I'm going to give you this mirror back after I'm done using it. And then Yusuke already has in his mind, wait, you're going to do what with it now? No, I'm not going to let you do that to you. There's nothing. Y'all didn't have time to grow some kind of bond. You just met this man. Like, if anything, I'm with Kuwabara when he tries to go stop Yusuke from even doing anything. Like, well, why would you go help this yokai? I mean, in a way, in this version, facts. You don't know this guy.
In this version, facts. What am I going to be doing? right? You get the sus.
You know, like Kurobara making some sense here. But then even with them, even with Kurobara and the relationship, we saw them be these rivals. Well, Yusuke never really considered him a rival, but we see these rivals. And you used to see that, like, how he had to, jump in Kurobara's body and, help use him, or he got to sit around and observe and see what kind of guy Kurobara really was. Like when he refused to fight for a week, to help out his friends. And, this gave time for Yusuke to kind of be like, this Kurobara ain't really that bad of a dude. You know what I'm saying? He kind of started growing a liking to Kurobara a little bit that he would never really admit out loud, but he was kind of, you got to see that pan out. But here it was, we saw them fight, we saw them cry, that's fine. But then after that, he shows up to try to stop him from stopping Kurama, and then all of a sudden, he got his arm around Yusuke after the fight, like, yeah, we're good. We didn't see any of this grow.
What did they do to Toguro? Make him a fucking beast. That's what they did. They made Toguro a monster.
And they did really good stuff with Toguro.
That's why I told you, out of everything, they did not miss with Toguro. They actually did their job with Toguro.
So I'm sitting, like I said, the whole time you're sitting there like, why would any of these people, like, why is Yusuke now, like, him and, Kurobara, like, really cool? We didn't see that plan out. We didn't see him look at him in a different light. He just kind of showed up, helped him one day, and it was just kind of like, all right, we're good now. For now, all of a sudden, he's running around wanting to help out. Or you literally get the one scene where he goes, where he thinks that, Hiei took Keiko. Great fight. Could have lasted longer. The fight lasted like, 2 minutes?
2 minutes.
And then, Kurama shows up and is like, no, he's not the one that did it. We got to go get the person that is. Now all of a sudden they just got this truce and they're like, all right, the four are together now. It's like
it's fast as hell. It's too fast.
Unless you already knew Yu Yu Hakusho, you'll be wondering, why is this?
The show was too fast paced, bro. It was crazy. That's
I said,
you can't just ignore a lot of important keys that made this show great.
So, like, if they were going to do what they were going to do with the fast pace, I can understand why they would now feel like there's no reason to have Kurobara's sister. Because you're not going to do you're not going to have a long tournament. So there's, like, the main thing, yes, she had helpful for her thing, but we know what her main thing was. Her main thing was her starting to like your old boy, and all of that. But if you were going to go through this fast, there's no point in even having that. So I get why they didn't put her in there. But y'all didn't introduce Pooh?
The tournament's not there. What's the point?
That's what I'm saying. Pooh plays a pretty big pivotal role, though,
yeah.
as a little companion.
No, he plays the role when he got the spirit orb. That's why I was like, he's not going to take emotional damage or anything with that. Okay, whatever. Because Pooh came in with Yusuke with water to carry it with him. Then he looks at him like, damn, I'm really letting my inner self down because that is me. Hi, miss you guys.
I miss you guys. I heard they're making live action of it. That's actually what we're talking about.
It's like they did mess. See, the Yu Yu Hakusho is like they did. It's like if I rate this show,
and we'll get to the final rating in a second.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, like, there were some changes that I was fine with. Like I said, I kind of preferred the way they brought Yusuke back into live action. Because, in the anime, it was which was, I'm not saying it was bad, because, you got to see the selflessness of Yusuke with the egg, where it's like, if I throw this egg in there and save Keiko, from the burning building, which he's trying to go in there to get your body, it's like, but if I do that, I can never come back to life. But he didn't even hesitate. It's like, screw my life. I care about her. And that was fine. They were able to get the body out there. They did the whole kiss thing. But I kind of like the idea of him being there and his energy coming up and then actually being the one to save him himself. Like, I didn't mind that change. But for them not to find a way to incorporate, and I don't even know if they're going to bring Pooh into the live action. Like, that just might be a thing they're not even going to do. Like I said, some changes I didn't mind, but they let nothing breathe. They let nothing breathe. You had no time to get emotionally connected to anybody in that show.
But they made sure Toguro was right there with his story here, and the little brother here. They even did the storyline. I was like, okay, I don't know how they doing great with Toguro, but
And the quickness that they did when they announced to Yusuke that Genkai was gone was just him telling the story real quick. Just a quick story of, oh, by the way, let me tell you real quick about Genkai and Togoro's relationship with each other. Just real quick for like 5 seconds. And then we're going to tell you that he took her out. No, it's like, okay, now even when he showed up to Genkai, and it's like, okay, so we're just supposed to know what their relationship was in the past? Like, there's a reason that this is supposed to mean something, but you've told us nothing other than, it's been a long time since I've seen you. It's like, okay, can you give us a little bit more than that?
like, remember what he said in animation? Remember, you should have took your body as being a demon instead of being old and raggedy, because you was the beautiful one of them all. Why did you go that route, Genkai? Me and you could be the greatest effective people in the world. Toguro, you let go of your demon self, and I'm gonna let you have it word for word, by the way. That's how much I love Yu Yu Hakusho.
And they're not even a couple. They were not a couple, apparently. They were just...
Like apparently it was they had a love interest in the demon tournament of power. They had that, but it's just like it doesn't exist. So why bring it up?
Even after Toguro was gone and they did the whole passing each other on the thing, I knew you would take this. It's like, y'all have showed us nothing about this relationship.
Nothing.
Why do I care? If I've never seen Yu Yu Hakusho before and I'm watching this for the first time, why do I care?
There's not that's what's gonna be a big fall off of that. They're moving it too fast, and there's too many things that they should have let that breathe.
I enjoy your discussion. You do have a point. Hope they bring something interesting.
It's too late for that. I'm gonna be honest.
It's been done. It's like they're on to the game tournament now, because that's what's next.
It's too late. It's so far too late for that. When I say it's too late to make some things interesting, the only thing they can bring interesting is more fighting scenes, and I think that's what they're focused on more than anything. It's the fighting scenes. They focus on a fighting scene more than anything else.
Like, literally, we're already in season 2. How fast they're moving, we're already about to get to Sensui.
We about to get I think either season 2 is going to end, or they're going to pull some... I don't know.
It's already time for Sensui, because we're past the Dark Tournament already. So Sensui's about to come through, the old spirit detective. It's already time for season 2. They're just going to have to bring him in.
And if you want to put Demon Yusuke in that bring his old man, bro, you know
but
what?
That was afterwards, though. Like, that might be...
them pull some bull crap and trying to put all that together in one and end it. I can see
there might only be 2 seasons in this
thing. They already skipped so many stuff in the first season, so I wouldn't be surprised they did that with season 2.
The manga/anime is already half over, and it's only 1 season in.
I think they did rush it too fast. I hope they took time with the storyline and make it creative. Well, at this point, you can't make it creative. It's damn near done.
It's over. Like the anime, like where they are in the anime/manga, it's half over. They're already past the Dark Tournament. There's only 2 things left.
And the Dark Tournament was the biggest highlight, one of the biggest highlights Yu Yu Hakusho. How do you do that? How do you do that? We don't even get to see we don't even see Jen. We don't see the kid with the yo-yo. We don't even get to see the pretty boy. Like we don't.
Oh no, none of them are coming. You might well get used to that. None of them are coming.
They're not. They skip all of that. All of that. And I really wanted to see the Jen and Yusuke fight, because I wanted to see how they was going to do that.
And remember, to be fair, the anime had more fights in it than the manga, because the tournament was longer in the anime, which was a good choice by the anime. You know, they gave us more fights, which is what shonen people want. You know, we want to see some fights. But here, yes, they have some action, but the plot around it, again, if you've never seen Yu Yu Hakusho before, if this is your first time watching Yu Yu Hakusho, you're not going to know who any of these people are, because they don't really take the time to slow down and tell you who anybody is. Any relationship they show you is like, oh, here's this character. We're going to spend 10 seconds to tell you what their relationship is to this person, and they're gone.
I can't even say RIP to Genkai correctly for this show.
No, because we had 20 minutes with her, bro.
I can't even have that, bro.
We had 20 minutes with her. 20 minutes.
Nah, listen, if we were directing that movie, I guarantee you that movie would be #1.
How can you introduce somebody and take them out in the same episode?
Like I said, you cannot just do Genkai death like that. That's just, no, you can't do that.
At least let us see it. They ain't even.
No, they didn't. That's what I said. At least let me see the punch, bro. Like, you can't be like I said, Genkai hold weight in the demon world.
All
That
right.
name hold weight.
Hold on real quick. I hear you about blaming Netflix for only giving them 5 episodes, but if they were only going to have 5 episodes, you don't have to go all the way up to the end of the Dark Tournament. You could have
You gotta
stopped
think about
earlier.
like I hate to do this, but I gotta do it. One Piece, live action, right? They had different arcs in each section, but they have the audacity to make sure, even though they changed a couple of things in arcs, which we actually enjoyed.
Like I said, like Garp was basically acting like freaking Smoker for half of the live action.
Right, but the thing is, Garp, like we knew Garp was not that type of persistent to see Luffy.
But it's different and it's
We knew
fun.
in the long run, but in this
Right.
one he did, and that at least we get him at least feeling some type of grief with him in the One Piece war. That's what it was like. I'm not mad at. I'm not mad at.
They also
Garp being
spent like
the
4 episodes doing that. They gave it time of him trying to go after Luffy. He didn't chase Luffy, find him, test him, and then leave in 1 episode.
Nah, they made sure that you're gonna constantly see him, and are you sure you're gonna be this guy? All right, cool. Like people like the live action of One Piece, so that's why, and that's how I should feel about Yu Yu Hakusho. You should like it. I should not be watching the show and just thinking, oh yeah, the action scene is what puts this show way better than anything else. I shouldn't have to do that.
Like, think of if season 1, since they only got 5 episodes, let's say season 1 would have started from the beginning up to when, which they didn't even do in here. Like, we got like the 2-minute fight of it, but we know in the anime he had to actually fight and defeat Hiei. Let's say the Netflix could have started from the beginning and ended season 1 with the Hiei fight, and that could have been your season 1. Now you would have had more time to flesh out all of this stuff in those 5 episodes, because they were all given like 45 minutes.
I'll do this. I'll say this. Y'all, and for 5 episodes, y'all could have made it to the point of what Yusuke, because I've seen a lot of those an adaptation that still work. You can go to already part to Yusuke was training, working, basically supposed to be chosen for Genkai. And then after that, you gotta have a nice chosen after that. That would have been a great.
I don't even think you should have even like introduced like the training with Genkai or any of that until the 2nd season, because that's all going. And then you could have started the 2nd season from training with Genkai. Then you could have went to the end of the Dark Tournament.
No, I'm saying this. You could have started everything else from the beginning with the Kurama with Heiei and stuff, but then you gotta keep this in mind. You're not getting the training, you're getting her qualifications of being
right. And that's what I'm saying. And then season 2 could have started with the actual training.
Because that's why I was like, you got it, because Genkai was the qualification. Like, you got to get the qualification with Genkai. If y'all would have had it all the way through, because like I said, Dance would be in core bar, at least get some of his worth in some of the action, and some of the other characters at least has a little bit of light. Not too much, but just a little bit of light.
And that's all we were saying.
Yes,
it was Netflix's fault for giving them 5 episodes, but it was them that decided to go as far as they did. They could have ended it at an earlier point and gave everything more time to breathe.
Right, because people forgot, because he's a spirit detective at the end of the day. He has to do a spirit detective job. The spirit detective is supposed to go around and see what the hell's going on. He only done one spirit detective.
By the way, he only does one spirit detective job.
He done one. He's a spirit detective. He's supposed to have done multiple. Hiei was supposed to be one of them, but I guess this is what they try to do. Have Hiei in them, and they trying to look at that as 3, because you're collecting 3 collectibles as 1. So technically, when you look at that, that's kind of like 3 spirit detective work. But as a case,
no, the mission was to go get 3. Yes,
that's what I'm saying. But that's 3 people they try to get. But as a case, that is 1. That is 1 case. Yusuke had multiple cases that he had to do. So technically, when you look at that, he had 2 cases. He had 2.
Right, but them going all the way to the end of the Dark Tournament in 5 episodes is wild.
Right.
That's just at the end of the day.
So many other spirit detective cases that he literally had, which did play an important role in, didn't even have that. Didn't even have that. Because like I said, we don't feel attached to Genkai. I feel attached to the anime.
20 minutes.
I just got done watching the scene that they spoiled everybody of the death of Genkai. Like they had that scene right there, but I still feel some type of way every time I see it. I almost shed a tear. I was like, oh my god, damn, Genkai was a real OG, man. Damn, Genkai, damn. And then it makes you hate it, like it makes you don't like Toguro more, but in this way, it makes you feel like you love Toguro. I'm like, I gotta like this Toguro. He's actually savage, like he's actually being Toguro. Like, hold on. But in the animation or the manga, you'd be like, this bastard gotta go. He gotta go. Especially when you saw him took out Kuwabara. He's like, so you really think I'm playing? Like, they did add that scene. I like that scene when they did to Goro. He was like, so you really think I'm playing? Iroh, next shot was an accident, but the next one will hit. Like,
Right.
they added that scene. That's what I was like, why they?
And I don't mind the stuff that, like I said, some of the actual changes they made did not bother me.
But that's why I said, why y'all doing great with Toguro, but everything else you slacking on? You can't do it. Like, what? So y'all made sure the villain get a great role, but everything else that mattered to make the villain to make you hate him is gone. Because y'all hate Mahito like a motherfucker. Y'all hate him like a mug. And hell, and we even saw Toguro after he took out Jinkai, so we even hated him after that. Because I ain't like Toguro after that. I know he had that dog in him, but I ain't like him. But the difference you would hate the little brother more than the bigger brother. I ain't gonna hold you because the little brother was, but you still did not like Toguro what he did.
No, you didn't. Like I said, but we got to learn what the history of him and Genkai was. We were able to see that story. We were able to know that.
It's not personal for me too, Yusuke. They even include that. That made me mad.
Just
not add that in there.
There's no reason in this adaptation that Yusuke should be that emotional over Genkai being gone.
Should not be that emotional.
He spent no time with her.
My man came out there, started kicking everybody, kicking it with the demo. He's finally learning to use the spirit order. I'm like, that's not, come on, bro. No! Whatever, though. But I know this, though. If I have little kids running up on me talking about this, I'm like, so do y'all really want me to, do you want the manga or do you want the animation? What one? Because this live adaptation, you can get what you can get. You can get little information, but I can give you all the information if you really want to watch it. Like,
exactly. So with that being said, final verdict.
Final verdict, as in rating.
Yes.
We're finally rating. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my adaptation of looking at Yu Yu Hakusho. And I'm rating it from 1 through 10. I'm getting it a 5 out of 10. Because the only thing that really gave me what was great was an action. But there was a lot of things that you made the show too fast paced. It did not make me feel love and a great attachment with the characters. The only thing y'all really focus on in this show was the action. Y'all focus on that way more than anything else, which made y'all get to a 5. But all the other characters, you got to remember, they play another great important role into this as well. You cannot forget about Genkai's death. You cannot even forget about some of the other people that play a role. You cannot forget Pooh, because Pooh was one of the main reasons that Yusuke even got the spirit orb. You can't even do Kuwabara like that because y'all made Kuwabara not even like Kuwabara like that. But he was great. But it's just like I said, Kuwabara had a lot more important moments in there. Y'all just made him seem like he's in and out. He was in and out. He was just there. Only thing y'all just made it seem great was him falling in love with Hiei's sister. That was it. That's the only great. That's the only thing I really laughed at him with it. But besides everything else. But as a character, as him being a man with his friends, and him thinking like, I'm not gonna let my friends be the detective and all that stuff like that, it was cool. But sad to say, as a show, that literally is one of my top 5 lists of all times. Especially looking at my favorite protagonist literally going down that way. I am so sorry to say, but y'all are definitely getting the 5 out of 10, which is not too bad, but doesn't mean it's not too good. Does it have room to grow? Yes. But it's impossible for it to grow because you're damn near ending the show. So that's my One Piece is real.
One Piece is real!
Okay.
What about that? I get that 5
out of 10. Fight scenes, I would give an 8 out of 10. They were very well done.
Right. As a fight scene, absolutely. Absolutely.
To Goro, I would give a 9.
Absolutely.
Very well done.
Absolutely.
Like I said, the actings, the looks, it would be a solid 7 for me. Like I said, there were some times where I felt like there could have been a little bit more emotion, but I like the way they look. Some of them were real well done. Like I said, then there's people like Botan alone, which is like way up here for me, which I thought they did a phenomenal job with. But story, like Genkai died and I felt nothing. Like Yusuke is now getting along with Kurobara, and I felt nothing.
Mhm.
You know, they're all hanging out on the boat, Hiei included, like they're all friends. And I felt nothing. He has not spent enough time with these people that I'll be like, oh yeah, these are my friends now.
He ain't don't say nothing to them. He don't even include y'all as a friend. He don't even say it.
We're just talking about, you know, you got a lot of friends now. It's like the only time he spent with these guys is going to the boat to save these girls. And that didn't take very long. This isn't like they had a long tournament to bond.
No.
Or the other fights that they had before that tournament to bond.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was just literally, hey, I saw Hiei. He's one of the yokai that stole something. All right, he's gone. I see he's fast, so I can't catch him. I need some training. Oh, wait, I think this guy kidnapped my girlfriend, so I'm going to go fight him for 2 minutes. And then when I find out he didn't do it, I'm going to apologize to him. We're going to go to a boat. Oh, yeah, me and Hiei, we're cool. Y'all didn't earn it. Y'all didn't earn it with any emotional things. You can't just, Toguro and Genkai's relationship. I felt nothing. You didn't tell it to us. You didn't even show us the fight. You told us their relationship in like a 30-second monologue by Togoro's brother. That was it. So when it comes to the story, I'm sorry, you guys, for me, you didn't earn it. If you've never seen Yu Yu Hakusho, you're not going to get emotionally attached to any of these people. So for that, just because everything else was so good, I'm going to have to be with you in the middle as a 5.
One Piece is real!
That's what we can say. I'm sorry. I love it. Look here, man. Y'all can't do my favorite show like this. Y'all did. Y'all, I love you. You understand? I list my favorite top 5 shows of all times. Yusuke is literally my favorite protagonist. You cannot, I'll repeat this one more time. You cannot do Genkai like that. Genkai hold weight. The Tournament of Dark Power hold weight.
Any of them.
There are certain characters in there that hold weight.
Like I said, I can forgive them not actually having a Tournament of Power. I can forgive them not having Kurobara's sister. I can forgive some of the things they didn't do. My problem is what they did with the stuff they did do. If they had fleshed out the stuff they did do, it could have actually been pretty good. But quite honestly,
on fighting. And I'm gonna say this again, they were focused way more on fighting than anything else.
So when I talk to anyone else that might be coming in now, unless you've already watched Yu Yu Hakusho and you're familiar with Yu Yu Hakusho, I can't even recommend that you watch this.
I mean, you can watch it, but I'm gonna have to throw some more facts at you with the other shows.
Like, I can't even recommend it if you've never watched any version of Yu Yu Hakusho before. You would have to go watch the anime and then go watch this. Like I said, One Piece has some stuff that was rushed a little bit too, but they also changed so much that if you've never watched the anime, you could still follow what was going on.
I think the only difference is Oda was taking care of his show versus the other one was not taking care of his show.
And unfortunately, I can't put this as another one of those, we got another banger, great adaptation animes on our hand, because to me, they fumbled it. And now that they're already halfway through the story, there's no even coming back from that. Because most of the emotional things that happen,
they pulled at least Full Metal Alchemist at least has some sort of fucking feeling into it, but it was still bad, to be honest.
Like, most of the real emotional beats that you would have wanted them to hit, they're already past them now.
You know the Dragon of the Darkness frame I felt nothing with, honestly. You want to be honest with you? Because when he pulled it out, the Dragon of the Darkness flame was just one of those things that when you pull that card out, everything's supposed to be evaporated around you. When I saw that Dragon Flame, I was just like, he ain't burnt enough. and he ain't even really hooked the dragon up like he was supposed to. So I was like,
you guys like my
that's why
father.
Koroma's fight was so more iconic than Hiei's.
I hate saying it, but like I said, the fight scenes in Toguro is what even gave this a 5 for me. Like my 5 is me being generous.
No, the vibe is the fight scenes. I said this. The only thing
That's
they
me being
on
generous.
that show was the fight scene, which it sucks. They only focus on the fight scenes more than everything. Like I said, the visuals of the show is amazing, but you cannot forget the other important shit that makes the show great and impeccable. Like, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. So now, let me guess. When we get this, I'm gonna guarantee you this. If we get season 2. And we get the experienced detective, and he tells us his side of the story. I'm gonna be honest with you, we're probably not even gonna care like that because we're just gonna be like, oh, here it is. You know what people really gonna be waiting for season 2 is Demon Yusuke.
If they magically say the Genkai's back because Koima brought her back, it's like, oh, okay.
But there's no point in bringing her back because if you bring her back, she was supposed to bring. I'm not even.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not even gonna get into that. All I'm gonna say is the only thing that season 2 is gonna be looking for, and they're gonna make sure they cannot drop the ball in this, is Demon Yusuke. That's it.
And with the pace they're going at, they'll definitely get there in season 2.
But Yusuke, it ain't your fault, bro. Your writer wasn't there to help out. Unlike One Piece, it's all good.
Exactly, and in fact, the writer was the one that even did what he did in the manga for the ending that a lot of people don't agree with, just because Because did you know that Yu Yu Hakusho was actually supposed to end like before it did? Like I think it was supposed to end at like the freaking Dark Tournament or like shortly after. Yeah. But it got so popular, he got forced to keep it going. Mm-hmm. So he made up an ending that was so crazy that nobody would want it to keep going.
And that's why we have Attack on Titan.
To the point where they changed the ending in the anime. But you know what? Hope we were able to help some people, man.
Now I feel depressed about talking about this damn show. God damn, why do I feel depressed? I shouldn't feel depressed talking about my favorite fucking show in the whole entire goddamn history of anime. But it's all good. Ladies and gentlemen, it's all good because, like I said, there's a lot of adaptations of a lot of people's shows and live actions. It was not good. Because we got Bleach. God, it's not. Worst one is Dragon Ball Z. It's not even. Fullmetal Alchemist. The only show that kind of really made some sense right now is Rurouni Kenshin. And the live adaptation. It actually did pretty good. But, at this time in the hour, I appreciate everybody for literally sticking with us with our favorite podcast of the year of the One Piece is Real. One of the greatest podcasts is real in 2023. Like I said, the podcast is real hadn't been nothing but success this year. I don't know what you think we are, but we had nothing but success this year. You better give us our flowers. I'm not even giving them, matter of fact, don't give me flowers. Give him flowers. Give this man flowers. There's moments I haven't been there. He hold it down with the guesses. This man had put all the shows and stuff together. He even put in the clips and the covers. Show this man some flowers. Man got 5 million out of nowhere and people still hating. How you do that? You don't get that every day. You can't just have the whole world hate you and then love you at the same time. That don't make sense. Just give him another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate King Drell so much. We appreciate him so much. Because if it wasn't for him, none of this podcast has really even been happening. Hell, none of the guests that we even have, we've been on here to make this happen. Give this man his flowers now. Give him his flowers. Because not only he had a 4 million, he had a fucking fire video with Zenitsu. What are we talking about? Come on now, my man had Nurse Becky J on some great contact shit. What are we talking about? This man has so many iconic moments this year that we can literally keep talking about it, but we'll be here since 10 o'clock if I keep going. That's how iconic this man is. People, give his fucking flowers. Give him his flowers. My God. Y'all sleeping. But it's all good. Take your nap now. Because we're going to make hella noise in 2024. And then you're going to want us to get kicked out. But in the famous word of Chris Brown, how can you hate from the outside of the club if you can't even get in? I'm just saying. Yo, before we get out of here, shout out to Evie. Shout out to Summer Drew. Shout out to Moon Killer. Shout out to Jasiri. Shout out to VIP Panda. Shout out to Apollo Fresh. Shout out to Justin Fro. Shout out to Gibbs. Shout out to every last Kinko Black. Shout out to Queen. Shout out to Blaze. Shout out to Lynch. Shout out to Mama. I can keep going, but we're going to be here all fucking night. Yo, shout out to my beautiful, lovely, favorite people, my young guys. If it wasn't for you guys, you wouldn't help us make this podcast really even more possible.
And let's not forget, and just a couple of people again.
Money in our bank account. Shout out to Olega, putting money in our bank account. Shout out to you guys as well for literally coming here to literally sit here on this podcast, looking at nerds talking about nerds. I mean nerd shit, people. I mean nerds. The highest views we had was over 200 in this piece. You gotta give us our flowers. Stop playing. And you think this is over? I guarantee you, 2024, I swear to God, I promise you, you gonna be like, you slide devil, you kissed it, did you? Yeah. Yeah. So 2024, we are going to be looking forward for you. We are going to be happy for you because we're going to welcome you in our arms with straight gray open, and I'm going to squeeze you so tight, and I'm not going to let you go, just like my girl in Demon Slayer. All right? I am your co-host, Mr. Vocals. Oh my gosh, this is the last podcast. Oh God, this is the last one to literally the beginning of next year. I'm going to miss you guys so much. I'm gonna miss you guys so freaking much, dude. My gosh, yo. Oh God, fake tear. Oh gosh, I'm gonna miss you guys so much, yo. Yo, I am your co-host, Vocals, Light Skin Drake. Call me what you wanna. Chico Bean, Kevin Gates, Chris Brown. Call me what you wanna. Call me what you wanna, but I'm always here to make you guys happy and great with the energy I bring for this whole entire year. But like I said, shout out to the man to make everything this show possible. Shout out to this man to make sure everything rolls together. And shout out to this man to always predict the futures when he speaks. And shout out to the man who will make sure that he will Mr. Steal Your Girl like Trey Songz. Because he can't say he gets no bitches no more. He gets plenty of bitches. My man, the man that makes everything happen, and my uncle, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. King Drell. Mr. King Drell, the mighty dynasty bitches. We went down, we came up, we went down one more time, but we're going up, we're not going back down no time soon. So we appreciate you guys for rocking out this show. You guys have a great, wonderful night. Anything else you want to say to the folks before we end up the last podcast of the year?
Real quick, because he shouted out most of the people. I didn't want anybody else to be alienated. So shout out to Mama Tasha. Shout out to Usagi. Shout out to Mitchie the Don. You know, Mitchie was up here in the house. Shout out to J-Spec. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jasiri. Shout out to Sailor Ignite. Shout out to K-Shake Cuz. Like he already said, Summer Drew, VIP Panda. You know what I'm saying? Kiko Black Apollo. You know, like, classic. Like everybody that was here. We couldn't have done it without you guys. Baker, that started this off. And next year, we've already got people lined up. And you know what? Enjoy the holidays, because we're not going to be here next week. So you enjoy your holidays. You get your nice presents. You enjoy the rest of your winter. The rest of your 2023. And we will see you guys next year.
Take the chair.
Yes, sir.